Welcome, everybody. We're back. We're here. A lot of stuff going on. Maybe one or two things. But this is episode 69 of the Six Man Tag Podcast.
Say it again. Just say it one more time for me.
Should I say it one more time?
One more time.
Welcome to episode 69.
Let it wash over you.
Just take a breath.
Drink it in, man.
Bro.
Take a breath. Absorb that. We're here.
Yeah.
We made it. This will probably be our last episode. We have nowhere to go from here.
But down.
Start
But down.
Speaking of going down, have we mentioned that this is episode 69? Hey-oh.
Said Ripley to the android bishop. Are we not using phrasing anymore?
Never
Nah.
seen it.
I got you.
Thank you.
I'm Mike. Joining me as always. Introduce yourself. It's CJ.
What's up, everybody? It's CJ. Glad to be with you once again here, boys. This has been long overdue. We've talked about it forever.
Yeah.
We're finally here.
Yeah.
We did record a part 1 of this, which I'm not sure if it's up yet because I don't think it is.
It's not there. It'll make its way.
It'll be there. But we might have to just release these both at the same time because we have a very special episode for you today. Big show. First of all, we got a lot of that's that big of a show that we need that. But we got a lot of news to get to. We've been off the air for quite some time. Mike decided to go to Disney World for like 8 weeks.
Fair.
And we even have a very special guest for you coming on later in the show. Very excited about it. But before we get to our special guest, before we get to all the news,
keyword is later.
Keyword. It's very, yeah. Never mind. But before we get to that, before we get to all the news, of course, we got to get to the next man waiting down the pipe, the man of 1,001 intros, El Queso Verde himself, Mr. Skyler.
Mike, CJ, I say this with zero ironic comedic effect. What do you all want to talk about?
Oh, we got a lot, including the man who coins that catchphrase.
Just a bit.
Where do we even start? I was joking around going, was CM Punk even back yet? And then I went and saw one of the last episodes was CM Punk returns again.
Again, yeah.
Yeah, because every time CM Punk returns somewhere, we rush to do an episode.
Yes.
Yeah, it does tend to go that way. It's very funny when I explain it to people of like our buddy coming on in the future, Rob Stadio, in the coming weeks, who we'll have on. Shout out him. I like explained it to him of like, yeah, no, because I told him like, pick an old show, let me know. So I said, yeah, we usually talk about old stuff. Occasionally we talk about new, and then it's like and then it's like right away, okay, big news dump episode.
Yep.
Since we've really recorded and released something, even if it had only been a month since, like, from now, give or take, like the last 3-4 weeks, like if you were a wrestling fan and you were just in a coma and you woke up, you would be like, what happened?
Yeah.
Like that's how many things have gone on. I guess.
What do you start with?
I don't know. I guess chronological order.
Well, I was gonna. Chronological sounds like a good idea too, but I do really believe that we should probably start with what I believe is possibly the biggest story to ever happen to wrestling in the history of ever. And that is the fact that Vince McMahon is no longer in control of WWE. He will not be there. He will not be there for WrestleMania for the first time in 40 years. Like, think about that for a second. 40 years of WrestleMania. This is the first time Vince McMahon's not going to be there, and the first time he's not running the show.
Guys, do you know what this means?
What's that?
I got my last name back.
Oh no!
Oh,
He's Skylar Strange again.
Damn.
Vince is gone. Last names are coming back. Big E wants his Langston back. But All right, God damn it. All right, I got to start calling you Skylar Strange
Oh
again.
boy.
I still don't have a last name. I'm just CJ. But we got to talk about the
No,
reason why.
I've
Obvious.
gotten too used to this.
Yeah. No, he
I
all
like
right. He fair. He changed it back.
I like it. We do
All
have
right.
to talk about the reason why
Yeah.
because it is a fucking doozy.
Bad. It's bad. So
It is
this so
gross.
yeah. So I was like I had flown, not that I was out of the loop or anything, but it's like when you're traveling, you might miss a few things here or there. So I'll get to it, but I did go to the Royal Rumble this year, happened to be in Florida, and all this stuff kind of breaks like 3 days before. Like,
Yeah.
did the timing seem weird, or it's just, hey, this is when this stuff happens?
I don't
I'm not trying to defend anybody or make
Yeah.
excuses for anybody. Just a simple,
I think it's just coincidence, honestly. I don't think that this was like, hey, let's wait for the Rumble. I think, like, honestly, if anything more, keep in mind the Rumble takes place in January. We are only in February of this year. The year is new. It
Yeah.
might have just been a case of, you know, the case was filed
yeah,
in the
yeah,
new year, and it just kind of is just like, okay, here we
right.
this is where we're at now.
And civil lawsuits. It's, I think criminal stuff is different, but when it's civil, there could be a delay in terms of filing versus when stuff is public, when stuff is made. When stuff becomes public record, it's allowed to be in the news and stuff like, such as it clearly was, man. And the fact that all that stuff is just it's public record. So it's no secret. You could have just looked up that lawsuit and read every word of it like I did. And it's not
I'm
good.
glad somebody did.
Well,
did.
the one that knows lawyers speak the best here.
Yeah, I didn't. I don't have the patience to read through a 47-page lawsuit, but
It's like 67.
Oh, even more. But obviously, still heard plenty of the details.
Right.
And
Right.
yeah, it's not good.
Yeah, but
It
it's
is
more
not
because it's
good.
like this isn't, like stuff like this. It's not like a dirt sheet website, finding some sealed
Mm-mm.
record and elite. It's all public record. It's all it takes is one Google search. It's like choice one on your Google search. It's not hidden or nothing. So it's all out there when stuff like that gets filed.
And it was originally brought to light by the Wall Street Journal, which
Right.
obviously I don't consider a reputable paper, but a lot of people do. But that's just
I don't consider many newspapers.
Yeah.
Or
I don't think
news,
there's a such thing as
or
a
news
reputable
sources
paper
in general. I guess
No, all
I
news
don't
is
bel-
propaganda. All news is propaganda. I remember I heard that quote somewhere. I can't remember who said it, but once I heard it, that stuck with me the rest of my life. All news
Yeah.
is propaganda.
Well, it's
So
true now, especially the last 20 years with the big news cycle. We just have to keep people watching. So in a way, yes, that's accurate.
yeah,
when
But-
is shit.
especially I think since like 9/11. Like I think like that
Yeah.
really changed
Yeah.
things in a lot of industries for sure. Like
Yeah.
not to like be starting to pour down the conspiracy theory hole here with everybody, because that's not what this show's about.
All right, Jesse Ventura, welcome to the
yeah.
podcast.
Hold on. Skylar's
Are you
got
trying
do
to
it.
tell me that you were there?
I was
I
not
was
there.
there.
I was not there. My uncle was there. My uncle was in the city during 9/11. Actually,
Yeah,
he actually watched the second plane hit.
I'm gonna stop there and not even touch this.
Where were you when they built that ladder to heaven?
Oh, classic.
So yeah, so all that vile stuff came out.
It's bad. It's bad. Like I won't delve into details. You've probably already read it. You can go read the lawsuit yourself. We don't need to.
Our time to do
down
that, I think, has passed. I think if like
Yeah.
we did an
Yes.
episode 2-3 weeks ago, we really could
Right.
have dove
Right.
into that. But yeah,
And on
Right.
top of that, it brought more light to the Ashley Massaro. Situation.
That's actually been more of a recent development in terms
Yes.
of, again, you might be dealing with a lot of hearsay when it comes to that, and a lot of maybe secondhand, third-hand accounts. So I don't know. People's reputation could again get tanked from something like that, just in public eye. But in
I
terms
did
of
say when the news originally dropped, I think one of the first things I wrote in our group text was just like this kind of brings a new light to the whole Ashley Morasso thing. Like this, like I thought of her when this lawsuit dropped.
right,
So like it definitely And obviously I'm not the only one, because as you said, recently she's been more in the news than Janelle Grant right now.
Yeah.
But you know, you're getting a lot of interviews. Like Paul London did an interview where he talked about it. And
See, he was
just
like dating her
and
or something, right?
he was dating her at the time.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
he did an interview recently where he was just like, don't want to say I told you so, but
Yeah.
told you so kind of thing.
Right.
But yeah, man, it brings a lot of fucking kind of skeevy feelings when you think about a lot of the particularly female talent, female staff
Yeah.
workers that have been
Well,
there.
it wouldn't, because then it makes it tough in a sense of you can go back and look at all that stuff that Vince McMahon did on TV with all the different women through
Oh
whether,
yeah,
from like late 90s through, I mean, I don't know when
gives
he
it a whole new
honestly.
creepy feel for all of
Oh,
it
yeah.
too.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Because you can
The
watch,
Stephanie McMahon angle that he wanted to do as an incest angle.
Thank God she refused that, by the
yeah,
way.
seriously.
Twice. She refused it twice, for the record. He
Right.
brought it up twice to her and she said,
Mhm.
no, not for me.
I'm
Dad.
good. I'm good. But
I'm
like,
good."
it more, like I said, yeah, it opens up a lot of stuff with that. Like, you can go, to go back and watch that stuff is like, what went on before they went out and did this, like,
Mm.
and all that backstage stuff and all, and it's like 15, 20 years ago, you were like, oh yeah, well, it's TV, it's, acting, it's this, that. And now you're like, maybe.
And I could even
Because
like
when you're the one writing the show and you can be like, hey, hey, write this in for
this is what we're doing.
write these segments in every week for me,
Yep.
type of stuff. It
No,
does give it a whole new yikes.
And I mean, like, I feel like even before all of this news came out
Hmm.
and before this lawsuit was dropped, it's still like, when you think about it in that sense, it still kind of has that creepy feel.
Hmm.
But knowing now what we are apparently finding out, and I guess we'll have to use the word allegedly here, because obviously nothing has been settled, nothing has been ruled upon or nothing like that. So for the sense of, legalities, we'll say allegedly. But when you look at all this stuff that apparently was going on behind the scenes, and to know that Vince was booking himself in these angles with all these pretty young women, first of all, like, I don't know how Linda must have felt about it at the time, but
Right.
I mean, like, God knows how she's feeling about it now. I mean, it's just insane. But it gives it a whole, it's a power dynamic, like you said. Like, if he's writing the show and he's saying like, hey, put in a bit where me and Trish make out in the back or in the ring, what is Trish gonna say?
Yeah. Well, there's that
You know?
one like infamous one where she's like, he makes her strip down and like bark like a dog or whatever in the ring.
Mhm.
And it's just like, again, in 1999 or whatever, you're huge
Oh
pop.
no, 2001,
Later than
2002.
it was
Oh
later than
yeah.
that?
Well,
Huh.
Trish didn't appear until like 2000.
Wow, I'm way off on my dates then. But you get the
Makes
point.
sense though. But yeah, either way, it's definitely not a good look. It's
No.
definitely not a good look for Vince or the company to kind of just be like, well, this is,
Well,
we're doing this for the sake of entertainment, but meanwhile, like, are you really, or are you just doing this to play out your fantasies?
Right. It
and
is how it seems.
it's funny because we say allegedly, and then he resigns.
Right.
If it's alleged, I
Well,
don't know if you're going to resign.
well,
I'm just speaking
no,
from
because
I know. I'm just
yeah,
kind
a
of.
but
legal
also,
standpoint.
yeah. Well,
Yeah.
I'll also say this from the legal standpoint is that the Janelle Grant stuff, it's a civil lawsuit. So in terms of a conviction on a civil lawsuit, you don't need as much proof that a defendant should be found liable versus a criminal case. Whereas a criminal, it has to be like an absolute fact without a doubt. They did this to convict someone criminally, but civilly in this civil lawsuit, it's way less. So,
And
and
it doesn't come with jail time.
no,
Criminal lawsuits obviously are where you go for jail time.
right.
Civil lawsuits is where money is
Exactly. So in terms of him,
is
in terms of
exchanged.
her being granted some kind of money judgment, whatever that may be at the end of this, if there is one, then, they don't, Vince McMahon can only be found, just to be proven even a little bit liable. And there could be some sort of conviction against him for that.
I think Vince McMahon is going to pay the equivalent of a drop in the bucket for him,
Probably.
live out the
I
rest of
bet
his
it's
days
probably
rich and lonely.
it's probably, I mean, at this point, there'll probably be some kind of settlement just so there's no trial, maybe, is my guess.
Mhm.
I don't know
Well,
if
you
all
go
you're
to
looking
trial, all that stuff again, like you said before, becomes public.
exactly. But
So
the other wrinkles in it, I'll say this going through the lawsuit, John Laurinaitis, his name is getting
Oh,
dragged through the mud, and then he comes out and essentially plays victim as well,
yep.
being I was forced to
he's
do this for
basically
my
saying
own
that Vince
job.
forced him to do it too. Yeah.
That was a wild development that I didn't see
Yeah.
coming.
I don't know if
Shut
I
the
don't know
fuck
if I'm
up, Johnny
buying that.
Ace.
I don't know if I'm buying that,
He
if I'm
had a
being
lawyer
honest.
advising him. That's wild advice.
Yeah, I mean, it's a defense, that's for sure. I mean, like you got to do what you
It
got to
is
do to
it
defend
it is
yourself.
it is in fact a defense that exists. Yes.
But at the same time, I don't know if I'm buying it because I don't know if I'm buying Johnny Ace sitting there saying to himself,
Not in
really don't want
20
to have sex with this girl again and watch Vince shit on her and
yeah.
like
Not
hard
in
like ugh.
like also not in 2019, 2020. Like when I first heard the law, like a new lawsuit had come out, my
Mhm.
assumption before reading anything what that was that this was someone coming forward after like 20 some odd years or whatever to make a complaint all these years later and stuff like that. And then when I see that this alleged stuff was from 2019 to 2021,
Yeah.
I was like blown away right away from that. Because I didn't think any of this stuff was going to be current stuff, just again, like people coming out all these years later against him. So someone like John Laurinaitis with what his status was for years, because when was all that people power shit? 2011, like 10 year,
Yeah,
10
that was a
years
while
before.
ago, yeah.
He was pretty established at that point that I feel like he didn't have to be forced into having sex with someone to keep his job, or he would be man enough to be like, all right, then I'm out.
It's-
Like I've been doing this long. Why am I gonna do this to keep my, you know what I mean?
the
Yeah.
wrestling world is a weird world though, man. Like, and
I get it, but
I'm not defending, um, I'm not defending Johnny in any
yeah,
way, shape, or form here.
right,
But what I will say is that the wrestling world's a real is a weird world, and when you're working for the top wrestling company, WWE,
right,
um, and that's all you know, that's all you've been at. I mean, granted, there are more options. There are more options for you now than there ever
right,
have been, ever.
right.
But
Agreed.
when this is all you know, it's kind of hard to be like, well, I could just walk away from this.
Mhm.
And again, I'm not defending him at all. Because if obviously what he's being alleged uh to have done is true,
Mhm.
uh I think and we've talked about this before in our text messages. Anybody who's involved in this in any way, I hope that they go down. I hope they go down hard. And I hope we find out everything, not because like I want to fucking know all this stuff happened, but because like it deserves to be
Right.
brought out into the light.
Mhm.
And so like the truth will have its day. Like I know it's like it's kind of cliche, and you hear it a lot from different scenarios and different people, but like
Mhm.
this is what we're talking about when people say that, is that like the truth's always going to come out.
Yeah.
And this is one of those situations where I feel like we've only just seen the first few dominoes come down.
Yeah. And I will say this, if this doesn't settle and it does continue all the way to trial, these civil lawsuits do tend to drag on in terms of scheduling. So if it does get to trial, let's say I'm just going to take a guess and say like fall, winter, maybe they get a trial. Like I don't know how long the state of Connecticut takes for this stuff, but if it is drawn out for months and months and this does get to a trial, you're going to get to that trial day eventually and you're going to be back in the news again
Yeah. And
for,
then,
Yep.
like I
even if
said, and
it's
then everything becomes public once you're in trial.
right.
So
Again,
it's like you're
exactly.
going to hear more and more of the details, and you're going to hear
Exactly.
from different witnesses, and you're going to, so it's just
Right.
going to snowball from there.
That's what I mean. So like it feels like I bet there'll be some kind of settlement, mainly so you hear about this in the media one more time. There was a settlement, XYZ figure amount to the plant, whatever, and it goes away type of thing. Would be my
Yeah.
guess, but there's still enough out there, at least against Vince McMahon at this point, where I think that the reputation is beyond
Yeah, there's
gone.
no way. There's no way he can come back again. I know last time he came back, he kind of forced his way back in a way.
Yeah.
I don't even think that's a possibility anymore.
No,
I
no,
think
it's too no.
TKO is done with him.
Yep.
First of all, but on second of all, I think that the talent, the fans, I think there would be a full-on fucking riot, a revolt, if Vince McMahon tried to get himself back in any way, shape, or form back into the company.
Well, you look at the one, Slim Jim was one of the big sponsors for the Royal Rumble, who pulled out, and then once Vince resigned, was back in,
which was like later that day.
Right.
Yeah, like the day of the Royal Rumble, they were like, okay, we'll honor our deal with you because you got rid of him.
Right.
Or he's gone. I don't know, whatever.
And I guess to speak of there wasn't really like, I think the big question was, where is there going to be this like black cloud over the Rumble? You didn't get that sense, at least from the live crowd while I was there. There wasn't this like, oh, why are we, how could we watch this? Because I'll also say this. If you had that feeling about every time there was something negative or you thought a company was doing something bad, then just don't buy any products because whether it's public knowledge or it isn't, and it's stuff happening privately, I guarantee you there are not many companies where you are just 100% every person you hire and every person that works for you is like straight and narrow good person, because that's never going to happen.
No, there's bad apples in every bunch for sure.
Right. So you can't.
I think, however, though, that feeling, though, that black cloud feeling would have changed dramatically if another person who was named in said lawsuit would have showed up.
This is true
that
too.
Is,
yep.
You know,
one
of the biggest stars that they've had over the past 20 years, which we haven't brought up yet.
Now he's not named in the lawsuit per se.
That's true.
I did think it was funny that, well, he's not named, but a big superstar who Vince wanted to have sign a new contract and is also a former UFC heavyweight champion. Now,
who are your choices besides Brock Lesnar in this point? Cain Velasquez, who they obviously did not want to keep and they let go almost immediately. That's else you got? Who else you got?
Like, also, I'm pretty sure he's in jail too.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I mean, that's a whole nother.
Well, he shouldn't be, for what that's worth, but I don't need to get into that lawsuit, that whole thing. But like, literally, who else was even a UFC champ in the WWE? Ken Shamrock and Dan Severn, like all time. Like, that's literally the list.
It wasn't one of those guys in 2020 that he was looking to resign.
Exactly.
That's for sure.
Exactly. But yeah, no, if he showed up, it would have been strange. But I guess let's shift our focus to the Royal Rumble. Maybe be a little more positive.
I can just say one last thing.
Yes, and we'll wrap up this lawsuit segment here.
Maybe it's good that we lost the Vince McMahon episode.
The one we recorded in person when the audio was shit.
Yep.
Oh, why were we talking about Vince then? I don't even remember what we talked
about. That was
episode.
Right after he resigned the first time.
Gotcha.
And then we watched Ring of Honor.
We did.
Oh yeah, because I think we did. We were kind of giving
that was the Anthony.
In that, weren't we?
We were
a little bit.
So was everybody though.
Yeah.
Like I can't look at anyone that spoke 18 months ago and go, "How dare you say that, motherfucker? We didn't know."
Yeah. I mean, if you would have asked me 18 months ago if I thought Vince McMahon was a good person, I probably would have told you no.
Right.
But if you would have asked
me,
I
would have said that 18 years ago.
That's true.
Same. You could have asked me this 2 years ago, 5 years ago, 10 years ago. It doesn't matter.
Yep.
And I would have told you, no, I don't believe he's I don't believe he's most likely a good person.
Right.
If you would have asked me if I thought he was a criminal and a serial predator, I also would have said no, though. And that's the difference. Is like now
that's true.
The whole thought process, the whole reputation, everything has changed to the point where it's just like, he's gone from being like probably not a good person, but he's done a lot of good for this industry, to this guy's probably a monster.
Yes.
And like, that's the big difference. I feel like,
yeah,
but yeah, moving on, we got Royal Rumble. Mike, you were there.
Yeah.
We obviously got to see what we were all kind of hoping. I know the three of us were hoping to see. I know the internet the internet wrestling community, the IWC that we love so fucking much. They all like, this is like the one thing I feel like that like everybody in wrestling was just like, we're all on the same page on this one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And that is Cody Rhodes.
Yep.
Winning the Royal Rumble. He's gonna face Roman Reigns at WrestleMania, which almost still got derailed somehow.
Well, we'll get there.
Yeah. But
But
anyway, Mike,
it
tell us how it
was
was being there live.
it was fun. So our good friend Anthony took a flight down to go with me, and as well as go see some Star Wars stuff over at Disney the next day.
Sick.
My first observation of the weekend with Anthony. Now, for those of you that know our friend Broccoli Rob,
Oh, I love me some broccoli raw.
yeah. But for those of you that don't know him, big time fall asleep randomly guy.
Yeah.
So my first notice,
He's like straight up like narcoleptic. Like
oh no, I agree.
just straight
Now-
up, just like will fall asleep mid sentence.
Now, my big observation with Anthony is he might be coming for that title. Because now he's not there yet, but if you do any kind of car ride, it wasn't even like it's not even like, all right, we're taking this ridiculously long car ride, take a nap. It was like in the so we drove from Orlando to Tampa, which by the way, Tampa might be one of the worst cities to drive in just because the traffic makes no sense, like on their highways. It's just like you're coming around and all of a sudden there's other random highways that are merging onto Route 4 down there, and it's a nightmare.
Yeah.
So we drove from Orlando to Tampa. We were going to go to the Hard Rock first just to kill some time. No, excuse me. Went to the Buck Stadium, Raymond James Stadium, because at the store they had like the, superstore. So we wanted to check that out. So driving down there, it should have been like an hour. It took us an hour and 50 minutes just because traffic. A little disappointed in the store. Maybe it's just because we went on Saturday and I think it opened on Thursday. So maybe by the time Saturday rolls around, maybe they're sold out of stuff.
Yeah.
Maybe they just don't have the stock of certain things. I guess disappointed in the sense of I don't know what I was expecting at the end of the day. It's a store.
Yeah.
But I think like anything maybe I might have been looking for, maybe they were just gone. I wasn't even really looking for anything specific. I think I wish they had like more things that just like said Royal Rumble on it or something. Like I feel like
you want to get something for a memento.
right. And I did. I bought something. I ended up buying this like pillow that's shaped like a baseball that said Royal Rumble on it, which is kind of cool. But like I felt like the shirts like were lacking, or I didn't want one that just said like I was there on it. I'm like, can I just get a shirt with like the Royal Rumble 2024
Logo.
like logo on it?
Yep.
And they add all this extra shit, which I'm not a fan of to begin with. Shit.
It's Skylar, man.
To just yeah. They had too many Jesse Ventura shirts in the store.
That's what they need. That's what they're lacking.
And they all reek of weed.
I will say though, they are coming. They do have cool stuff. That company, Homage, has a few cool wrestling shirts. They have like a lot of like 8-bit shirts. They had one. It was from like the Royal Rumble video game. They had one shirt that was from the Royal Rumble 2000 with like Triple H versus Cactus Jack on it.
Oh,
They had like a CM
There
Punk.
you go.
Right. They had like a CM Punk retro looking shirt. So they did have some cool stuff there, but I was also like, I can buy these online for cheaper if I really want them. Like I'm not going to spend this money now, but we checked it out. Like, driving down there to the Buck Stadium was still kind of cool, at least a little bit, seeing all the shit on the outside. Tampa's also not nice. I figured there was some rough spots, but there's a lot. I didn't realize like
it's a lot. What's nicer, Tampa or the 2 blocks over from the Albany Armory where I tried to park and got yelled at?
I mean,
that's a challenge.
To be fair, we were at that Albany show and it was already dark outside, which makes any neighborhood look creepier.
Yeah.
In the dark.
But like literally like park the car.
But like
the fuck you doing parking so close?
Oh my god.
That fucking guy.
Sir,
I was like,
Sir, I'm out. Sir, we will
back it up. No
sir, we will go home.
Yeah, we just don't even go to the show.
We will. Nope, gotta go.
Yep.
Gotta go. Tampa, no, like driving through because like I got off the highway and it was like 5 or 6 miles of just kind of driving along a road until we make the turn to get to Raymond James Stadium. I'd say for like 5 of those miles was the Chappelle thing when he's like, you're in the hood. He's like, gun store, liquor store, gun store. Where the fuck you taking
Pawn
me?
shop.
Right. It was a lot of that going on. Like a lot of bars on the windows type of stuff.
I was taken to the hood. It's one thing if you go to the hood yourself, you can mentally prepare yourself, but when you're taken there.
I won't say I was taken there, but I was like, all right,
Yeah.
I'll take this road. Let me, let me get off the highway. I'll save a couple minutes and I'll get to the stadium so we can go to the store that way. And then I was like, oh, okay.
Yep.
I'm not trying to assume these neighborhoods, but I saw what I saw.
Yep.
It's also Florida. So wherever you drive in Florida, you're just bound to see just wild people.
Yeah, that's
Just
fair.
because
Florida man is a
Florida
fucking
man.
legend.
Right.
Legend.
So there were definitely some Florida men about.
I'm
Just
sure.
like
Doing
just
Florida
like
man activities.
more than one dude just like walking around just shirtless for no reason. Like
I
I
mean, it's
feel
Florida.
it
I
it, it
can't talk
was
shit. I live in Las Vegas, bro. You want to talk about
but
wild cities, man.
no, I'm sure. I'm sure. Especially like the outskirts, I'm sure.
Mm.
But like
Actually, the
But
outskirts is where it gets
but
better.
no kidding.
but
That I guess
your
I
I
could
live
see
on
city
the outskirts.
I could see
but your
that.
city was built for that purpose.
That's true. My
For
city is literally
Florida, it
built for
just
debauchery.
became that.
Yeah, it did.
Yeah.
Like I don't know, but
Some in
like
the Everglades.
this something because no, like Florida, it's very funny when you go to Disney down there because you really feel like you're in like a bubble. Even if you're out
Mm.
like a good like 10-minute radius outside of everything, it does feel like
Mhm.
a bubble because
Yeah.
everyone there is pretty much just on vacation. I don't know how many people actually live right there. But then right, you start creeping a few miles outside of town, then all the Florida, the
All
fine
hell
citizens
breaks
of
loose.
yeah, all the fine citizens of Florida all show up.
Yep.
So there's
I
a
got a
lot of
lot of
that.
family in Florida, man. So I've spent time down there. I know
Right.
what
And
it's
I
like,
think
you know.
I think most people have been to
And
Florida.
I
So
feel like
like
if
you
anybody
get it.
knows my Uncle Paul, anybody who's met my Uncle Paul, love that man. He's awesome dude. He's like 6 foot fucking 5. He's giant. But I think if anybody has met my Uncle Paul could tell you he's definitely got that little bit of Florida strangeness to him. You know, there's something just quite a little bit off about him. And I blame it on Florida.
Yeah, no, I can see it. Like especially like this I bet it's bad in the summer because that heat just gets to you, gets to
Not to
people.
me. I love that shit. Let's go.
Exactly. But it gets to people so they just lose their fucking mind. I
Yep.
absolutely understand. Has everybody seen Falling Down with Michael Douglas?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. I I would never do that, but I get it.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm pretty sure that's the moral of the story.
Exactly. Right.
I
It's
wouldn't
like
do
I
it,
actually
but
I
I
made
get
a-
it.
I made a very, very falling down esque joke to my friend Jesse today. I was
oh,
I
no.
was at Walmart and which I hate being at in the first place. But I'm at Walmart and I'm picking up, I gotta get like a couple pairs of pants for work and stuff like that. So I'm standing in line, and right as I'm walking up to a line, some lady comes, rushes over and cuts me off, basically just cuts me in line. And I'm like, all right. Then there's another lady behind me who's complaining about how they only got one machine open.
Hmm.
They finally open up some other machines, and of course that lady just runs right up front.
Yeah.
So I basically got cut twice in the
Yeah.
matter of like, you know, whatever, 15 minutes I was
Yeah.
standing in line. And I texted my friend Jesse and I was just like, I just got cut in line twice at Walmart, and I'm pretty sure this is why mass shootings happen.
Yes.
And,
You just
not to make a joke of mass shootings, like
yeah.
but God, I was angry.
I get it. Yeah. And then yeah, it just takes you just go over the edge. I get it.
Uh,
But I mean, but I don't know. But like I said, Florida's fun. We check out the store again. Underwhelming. It is what it is though. We drive back, we hit the Hard Rock Casino, you know, do some slide. Now I'll say I felt like Broccoli Rob at the casino because I picked the right spot. I like picked my spot and I fucking did it well for a change. I just throw, whatever, throw 100 in, let me play a few spins, bang for like 160. I'm like, all right, let's hit cash out now.
yep.
So whatever, we do our thing, we play a little blackjack and then we make our way. Traffic, I mentioned bad traffic. So the drive from the casino to Tropicana Field, GPS says like 35 minutes. I'm like, okay. It was like 4:45. I'm like, all right, let's get out of here. We'll park the car. We'll take our time. All good. But when I tell you this fucking drive, this 30-minute drive, we left the casino at about 4:45 and we did not park our car until about 6:20.
Good Lord.
And and keep in mind, like it's still 30 minutes. It's not like we hit traffic getting into the stadium. We hit traffic still in Tampa. We didn't even go over the big bridge to St. Pete yet.
Yeah.
But so I was like, thank fucking God we didn't stay at the casino till like 5:30, 6 o'clock, thinking, yeah, we'll be there in 30 minutes and we'll get in no problem.
You would have been like those
Would have
people
been
at
late.
you would have been those people at WrestleMania 32.
WrestleMania, yeah. Getting in more
Standing
efficient,
outside.
more efficient for this show than that specific
Well,
WrestleMania.
that was a shit show. I
I
mean,
know.
their whole system went down. So, which is
This
funny,
this
like
is
because we cut the line that time.
yeah,
We actually cut the line with
we
Broccoli
did.
Rob
Yeah,
to get inside early, and then
right.
we found out later when we noticed that the show was starting and the arena was still half
Yeah.
empty that people weren't able to get in because their computer went down.
Yep. Yep. It's which and I feel like no, because they still scan it. It's not even like a rip and hand you your ticket stub back.
No, it's all
I
scanned
don't know
now.
why I'm
So
like thinking. No, I know. I'm like because I'm thinking now of like when you have the tickets on your phone and stuff. Like
yeah,
if that like ever goes down, at least like
it's
if
the
I
same
have
shit.
something. No, I
It's
know,
the
but
same shit. But like, yeah, like on that end, you can go that there's like two failures that could happen. You could either like your
right,
phone's just not working or their system's not working. This
exactly
was
right.
all their system.
Yeah, and keep it. Listen, I love tickets on my phone, even though I
Yeah, it is
miss
convenient, I
even
will
though
say.
I missed the ticket, the
Mhm.
hard tickets, but
Yep.
you know the stress of oh fuck, did I remember these tickets?
Yep.
You know,
That's
like
what makes it so convenient for me because like
exactly
now I never have to worry about like fuck I left him at home.
right.
John did that to once. We were going to a show I think in Albany.
It's not even
And
it's not even like the chance or something where oh
no,
let's
no,
just drive back.
this was up in Albany. We were going to a show, and I think like we were just getting over the Mid Hudson Bridge when Matt Butler or myself asked John like, "Hey, bud, you still got those tickets?" And he goes, "Fuck!" And like, thank God we realized it at the Mid Hudson Bridge and
Yeah,
not in
not
Albany.
and not at the top of the Taconic or something.
Yeah,
God damn, man.
but hey,
Dude, I had to do that shit when we were like when we went to WrestleMania and I'm like packing. I'm like, okay, this is like like this is the most important thing that I need to pack, even if I don't pack my fucking clothes.
yeah,
Like this is the shit I need.
you could buy new clothes down there. You can't. You
Right.
can. I mean,
I can't get
you could probably buy new tickets, but like, yeah, good
not
luck. You
really.
know,
Not
yeah,
really.
and even if you did, like, do you really want to go spend another fucking
No.
three,
Nope.
four, $500
No.
or maybe even more because it's getting
Yeah,
closer to the
more.
show?
No.
Yeah.
But man, fucking hey, yeah. You fucking idiot. You fucking
Hey,
moron. But
so
so we go to the Rumble. So I was pleasantly surprised with it being a stadium show. I think a lot of time the view might cannot be good sometimes, but
mhm,
I figured I picked pretty good seats, which you know I ended up picking decent seats. So if you want to think like baseball setup, because again the baseball stadium setup it can be a little weird for wrestling, just because like they
this was Tropicana Field. It was at.
yes yeah.
Gotcha.
So the ring was basically where the pitcher's mound is,
Gotcha.
and our seats were essentially behind one of the dugouts. So like behind home plate on like the first base side, if you want like specific baseball, you
Yeah.
know, point of view, they'd be awesome seats for baseball.
Oh, for sure.
But they were good enough seats. My only complaint with that was so they obviously have like the minimal set for the seat. Like obviously there's no big Titantron just because all those seats behind, you know, home plate
Yeah.
and they always come out of like whatever dug, I can't remember, whatever, one of the dugouts or whatever.
And they
So
got
we
like a long tunnel anyway.
exactly right. So we were behind that. So my only complaint right off the bat with the Rumble matches was it's very difficult to keep track of what numbers what.
Oh, yeah,
And I
yeah.
know that they were putting the numbers on the screen as they were coming out, but we're behind
Mhm.
that.
Yeah.
And they're not showing that on any of the other screens, which sort of pissed me off because like they have all these screens and like two parts of the screen on like the big scoreboard in the outfield just had that Royal Rumble logo on it. So it was almost like you're treating these like throwaway screens. At least like throw the number up for us.
Yeah. I mean, like most stadiums nowadays have the fucking banners in between the stands. You could even put them on that.
I know that's there should have been somewhere where they at least put the number because it's not just like our section. There's a ton of seats that they sell.
Yeah.
All those seats essentially behind home plate and sort of in the baselines near home plate are all behind that set. So at the very least, do something for the live crowd to show, okay, hey, what number? Because it is difficult.
Yeah.
Like obviously, okay, I know the first two and three, but then like by the time we hit like 10, we both of us, me and Anthony, we were like, shit, what number is this?
Where are we
You'd
at?
you'd get like a glimpse on the screen of like the broadcast where the number would pop up, and then like I'm like, okay, I'd catch it, and that's the only way I knew.
Yeah.
So my one complaint is make it more known in the stadium besides your, screens in front of what the number is. But the Rumble was fun. I don't know if the Florida crowd maybe wasn't that great. Like it's clearly not like a WrestleMania vibe. It clearly didn't have like a Backlash vibe last year or anything like that. Um, I'm not expecting like what I'm expecting for the Chamber that's coming up in Australia. I'm expecting an
Mhm.
awesome crowd for that to come across great on TV.
Yep.
The pops were there for people. I can confirm to counter our buddy Chris Lupo's argument that Dominic Mysterio's heat is piped in. Can confirm that's not the case. And
Good.
who else does he say? Is it LA that the LA Night cheers are piped in?
Mhm.
That's also
Did
that's
he? I
all
don't even know.
that's also false.
No, LA Knight's over.
Yes.
Yes. What else was the most over? The women's, it didn't. I thought the women's rumble was good, but again, I thought the crowd sort of sucked for it. Like
I
they
think
pop,
that there was a lot of women that the crowd, at least from watching TV, didn't recognize
Yeah.
who they were. You know,
Yeah.
like some of the NXT call-ups,
yeah.
some of, I mean, Jordan Grace, which was a huge surprise and that I loved. I
I
love
loved
seeing
it.
Jordan Grace.
So
I'm not a
I
TNA
l-
fan,
no.
but
So
I've loved Jordan Grace for a long time. Like I've
Right,
seen,
and
no,
they
I've
she's
put
seen
her
a
very
lot
they
good.
of
put her
around.
over pretty well
They
too.
did.
Hell yeah, man. She went in there and kicked ass.
It was so
Yeah.
it was very funny. So we were in like the mezzanine level, so like not as many people like across the section. So if you needed the bathroom, it was closer and and it was quicker if you caught it on like an off time.
Mm.
So it was literally between 4 and 5 in the women's roll. I'm like, all right, it's early. I'm gonna go pee now. So I'm
Yep.
in the bathroom and all I hear is like a siren going off, and I'm like, whose music is that? It's fucking Scott Steiner here. So then I come back
Right to
out.
censor? What's going on
I
here?
got so I come back out and I'm just looking at the ring and oh, what was that like Zoe Stark at number? Because I'm just like, oh, muscular. Who is that? And he's like, no,
Yeah.
Jordan Grace. I'm like, what?
Yeah.
And it like literally took it like I had to like readjust myself. I'm like, okay, wow, they did the TNA women's champ again.
I mean, I think that's cool. I mean,
Yeah,
if they're gonna keep doing that, bring out the Knockouts champion. That's
yeah.
fucking dope.
And
Fuck, let's get one of the men involved too. Like,
and I liked
fucking-
that they at least acknowledged like, okay, your last feud was with Trinity or Naomi who returned. So they
yeah,
let them have like their couple spots in there too, which
gave him
was
a
good.
moment.
But no, I was happy with the women's rumble. Bailey was
Can,
the right choice. I think the crowd popped for Bailey a little bit. It was
can I
weird though.
can I say something?
Yes.
Is it me, or did Jade Cargill just look more
Oh,
natural in the
Yes.
WWE?
bro, I am on record for being a complete Jade hater for the past fucking like 2-3 years, whatever.
Yeah.
Mhm.
She looked like a fucking rock star during the Rumble.
Yep.
And I did say, and I have said this before, that I do believe she is built more for and she will succeed more in the WWE format.
Yes.
But god damn, did she was awesome. She was
Mhm.
absolutely awesome.
I
Like,
think
and I'm not saying that they made her look awesome. I'm saying she was
yes.
fucking awesome.
Yep.
In that Rumble.
There's a lot of little things like the wrestling. You knew the wrestling needed work, but even in AEW, she was good enough talking. She was good enough just the look, But
The look was
obviously,
always there, obviously.
right. But no, you knew right away. You knew she was going to be in WWE eventually. And again, if they let her, I think again, not to pile on AEW again, but I think you see the differences in AEW one. And I know she was probably getting coached up by like Bryan Danielson and like guys like that. I'm sure. Like I'm not that there's slouches over there, but if you're not going to train full time to like get those moves perfectly down, it's going to come across
They don't
that way.
have a performance center. That's the
No.
big difference.
Yeah.
WWE literally has a coaching center filled with tons of coaches, tons of rings,
Yeah.
and I don't even mean just wrestling coaches. They got like strength and performance,
Oh, yeah.
they got health coaches, they got dietitians.
Yep.
Everything that you need to succeed in wrestling is at WWE.
And and those guys that's their 9 to 5.
Yep.
Is that. So like whereas maybe she was doing some moves with, Bryan Danielson and stuff, maybe like a couple hours before the show, maybe after, maybe at like a training session once in a while.
Mhm.
You're not if you do that shit as your full-time job, all the specifics gonna look better. Just those little bits, man. Like that's why like the look, they'll teach you how to look better. Just standing, your presence, all that stuff seemed better and believable because when she's doing the standoff with like Bianca Belair,
Mhm.
and that one cool spot where they were both pressing and then just dropped him to stay that was cool.
That was awesome. The Nia Jax elimination was pretty cool. Was
Yeah.
great. Like that's like probably the coolest, the most excited Nia Jax spot that I've ever been for in my entire life.
Yeah.
Yep.
And like, because she's awful. But anyway,
Yep. Also,
yeah, go ahead, Scott.
before I move on, though, I do want to shout out who I think is the MVP of the Women's Rumble,
Let's hear it.
Chelsea Green.
Chelsea Green, man, she had some fucking, she had
She
a lot
had
of
some
funny
fucking
spots, man.
Yeah.
He had me laughing out loud.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah,
for sure.
She embraces the comedy side of wrestling. Like
Mhm.
you can tell, like even in interviews, I've seen her in interviews where she talks about it, and like the way she talks about wrestling, like you can tell she loves it and you can tell that she's into it, but you could also tell that she's just a funny person. And I mean, granted, she's married to Matt Cardona, who we all know has a sense of humor
Yeah.
and a childlike kind of essence to him,
Mhm.
right?
Mhm.
So of course, like I feel like that kind of like that personality, obviously they blend together so well. You can see that in her performance. Like she's a kid living her dream.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
And she's having fun with it, man.
Yeah. No, awesome in the Rumble. And then the
Yeah.
Women's Rumble was good. But then
I thought the women's rumble was great. I thought it was arguably better than the men's once again this year.
Yes.
Personally, but I
Yeah.
mean,
Agreed.
we'll get to it. But the title match was there. Like you knew why it was there. You knew why it was second on the card.
Yeah.
I mean, I can agree weird pacing on the card, but like it is what it is. You're either gonna get, the Kevin Owens Logan Paul match, or you're gonna get the tip, and the Rumble is the Rumble is mostly a predictable title match that's sort of just there just to get, you can get a feud in there just for the sake of filling time on the way to WrestleMania, at least the last few years. I
Yeah.
can't remember a big title change at the Royal Rumble like since The Rock over CM Punk. I'm sure there's been
Yeah.
one that I can't remember, but in terms of like being super notable, that's like the last time I can think.
it's definitely not common. Like you said, like usually by the beginning of the year, they have their Mania plans
Right.
set. And usually
Right.
those Mania plans include whoever's already holding the title. If they're not, and they need to make the switch,
Right.
obviously Royal Rumble's the time to do it. But
Right.
like, it just seems like most of the time they already kind of like know who their champion is going to be.
Right. Yeah, so like I mean it is what it is. I mean the match was the match. It's look, Roman's cool as hell. Like the all those guys in the match are Orton, like Orton, Styles, and it's just four good dudes. Like I know
Yeah.
I know people complained about like what the finish or the pacing, but I'm like it was as good as it needed to be for what they're doing.
The finish, I will say this, the finish did seem a little rushed, a little almost anticlimactic.
Right.
But the match itself was great. I
Yeah.
feel like if they could have find a way to maybe stretch that ending sequence out a little bit more,
I
there'd
agree.
really probably be like no complaints.
Mhm.
But at the same time, you have two matches on your card that are an hour or 20 minutes long each.
Yeah.
You got to get to those matches. You got to get to that
Agreed.
main event, obviously, which is the men's Royal Rumble after you've already had an hour and a half for the women. So, like how much can you really stretch that match any further
Agreed.
time wise? You know what I mean? Like maybe they could have paced it a little differently to make the ending sequence go a little bit longer, but like the timing of it, I don't think is the issue.
No. But listen, it's fine. It was cool. And then I liked Logan Paul, Kevin Owens. Like I feel
that
like
was
that.
great. I
I
thought that was
thought
really
like
good.
I feel like the match got a bad rap, but this is where I don't know why sometimes.
I
It's
enjoyed it.
like,
I
but
really
like,
liked it.
but like I don't like you know what you're getting with you know what you're getting with those guys, and I feel like Kevin Owens can match up with anybody.
Yep.
Yeah.
And at this point, so can Logan Paul.
I've been
Just
saying this
about.
for a while. I think Logan Paul is an underrated wrestler, not an underrated asset, an underrated wrestler.
Yep.
On that roster for sure.
And honestly, and I know people again, we'll talk about an ending. I mean, I love the ending, but I also like those weird, like different things.
I said, because again, we had our group text going and some people were hating on it. Some people were saying it's okay.
I literally in the stadium
about it.
Because in the stadium when they did it, now I literally was like, oh, I was like, that's a good one.
And I remember saying in our group chat again, I was just like, I knew that Mike was going to be a fan of that finish because he loves himself a good dusty finish, which that's what it's like. Those finishes that are like, the winner won, but did he really win kind of thing? Like that's a dusty finish. And that's exactly what that was. It was a cool way to get to it. I knew that you would love it.
Like because I'm like, because we were like, oh, is he gonna win? And then the point, and I was like, are they fucking doing? It was like that whole. I was like, fuck yeah.
Yeah.
I was like, all right. There were
Hey,
definitely
just so you
groans.
guys know.
Definite groans going on.
Yeah,
Though.
I'm
So
sure. But some people don't like that. Some people want to see the
Right.
definite win, and
Oh,
definite,
yeah.
they want. I want Logan to look strong. I want KO to look strong. Shut up,
Yeah.
and enjoy the show.
But then if Owen, I want Owen to look strong. Oh, he lost, buried.
Yeah, well, we have a few people in our group
I
chat
can't
that say
believe
things like that a lot too.
I
So
can't believe that. I can't believe that Seth Rollins was ruined for years after the Bray Wyatt Hell in a Cell match.
yeah, he was ruined. Yeah. Seth Rollins hasn't been fine for the past 10 years.
Yeah.
Bad takes. Those are some real IWC takes right there. But I'm getting a little tired of having to
Well,
just
C
say
Loop.
how
All
many
right.
times there's
C
a bad
Loop.
take on our Discord.
C Loop's coming on this podcast at some point because
Yeah, we have to
although
have him on.
I don't know if there's enough hours in the day for
It's gonna be called the bad take episode.
Oh, I can't wait. It
But hey,
if you read our group text, it feels like we pile on to every one of his takes, but he leaves us no choice
there's no choice.
but
There's
to go.
It's either that or we just ignore it.
I can't anymore. I
No, I can't either.
I love having him in the Discord for
But
this
like,
reason.
we've all had those takes. Right? I mean, like
Yeah.
there's some takes that Dennis has that I don't agree with. There's some
Agreed.
takes that probably
All of
that
us.
Anthony has had that I don't
Mhm.
agree with. I feel like the three of us are usually on the same page.
This is true.
But I feel like outside of us three, there's definitely guys that like will say something and like one or all three of us will be like, bro, that's wild.
Yeah. Yeah. But yeah, okay. Men's Royal Rumble. First of all, Jey Uso is so over.
Can we talk about Jimmy Uso? You want to talk about MVPs of Rumble? Can we talk about Jimmy Uso for a second? Because goddamn, Jimmy Uso, every time like someone was beating Jay up and he would just walk up and try to like give him high five, I laughed so hard every single time. Like every time, it never got old. Like every time he went up to somebody new, I was just like, yeah.
And then like at one point when he finally like threw his tantrum when he just kept getting knocked over.
Yeah, that was the best part. But like when he got hit for like the fourth or fifth time and you just see him on the mat, like, why does this keep happening?
Yeah. No, he was awesome in it. But Yeet was like that, not the most over thing at that show, but it was one of them.
It was up there.
So I don't know the Yeet no Yeet when
yeah. Yeet no Yeet.
Kind of bummed out that he's facing Gunther on Raw because I wouldn't mind Jimmy Uso or Jey Uso. Oh yeah, that could be happening right now.
Could be. I do want to go back.
Not even a pay-per-view.
I know. I do. Oh Jesus, I do want to go back. I will go back and watch that tonight.
But I wouldn't be upset if Jey Uso was the one that dethroned Gunther.
It would be good.
It would be good. And I
wonder. Are we still getting the two of them at Mania, or has the last few months been almost like a pleasant surprise for everybody, and maybe they don't have to do it yet?
I think they should.
They could.
No, they should.
I would like them to have a Mania match for sure.
No, but I more mean, I guess I'll sidetrack just to them since we're talking about it. Has them as singles gone even better than maybe expected? Because a year ago, did
at
anyone
least
expect
Jay? At least with Jay.
Jay for sure. But did you expect 6 months ago that Jey Uso as a single finally on his own would be as over as he is?
No.
I thought they were going to kill time till Mania.
I thought Jay leaving the bloodline was really good for the story. And obviously I've been hooked on this bloodline story, like fucking put it in my veins. Like I love it. But at the same time, I really did think that like, I really hope that this doesn't kind of bury the Usos in a way where it's just like you've seen it so many times that tag team split up, especially this particular tag team. They're twin brothers. It's like a whole different aspect to it in itself. But you see tag team split up, and then either one or both guys just kind of become like
a guy.
Just a guy. But no, Jay's super over. Jimmy's even super over. I see tweets about Jimmy all the time about how he's like he's first of all, he's hilarious.
Yeah.
He's like one of the most unserious guys in wrestling, but like in a good way.
Yeah.
Where like he's more entertaining. Like he's the almost the comic relief to the bloodline in
Yep.
itself, because there's so much seriousness in the bloodline.
Yeah.
There's so
I
much
didn't-
seriousness with
Yeah.
Roman and Solo Sikoa, and now The Rock getting involved. So for Jimmy to kind of be that lighthearted side of it
Mhm.
is like a breath of fresh air for
Right.
that team and for that story.
Oh, I agree. But you know, like I think the men's rumble, it was fine. I think I won't say predictable, because it's almost predictable in a good way. It's sort of what everybody was looking for out of it. But like I said, the crowd was into their favorites. I think the final four was perfect. That final, group, Cody, Punk, Drew, Gunther.
Yeah.
Can we talk about how Punk is like made out of paper mache? Apparently,
Yeah, dude. Because is this the same injury, or is this the different
Opposite arm.
opposite
Oh,
arm, same injury, opposite arm.
okay.
Now,
Yeah.
I just want to say one thing, because okay, I'm going to be a Punk defender. Go fucking figure.
I wouldn't expect nothing less.
Exactly. Everyone's just like, oh man, he looks gassed. He looks like he's done. Yada yada yada. How the fuck long was he wrestling with the torn tricep in that match?
I don't think that long. I think it happened towards the end.
It was when he got DDT'd by Drew.
The Future Shock, yeah, wasn't that towards
Yeah.
the end? Like
There
not
was
the
still,
end.
it wasn't
but,
the
like,
final
like,
four.
I was gonna say he did the Cody sequence still went on for a while, so he still did
Yeah,
that
that's
whole
true.
thing.
Yeah.
But also, I mean, well, this is why we said months ago, this is why Punk is better fitted for WWE. If he does have any limitations, he's gonna put on a better match with someone there versus the majority of his opponents in AEW.
Yeah.
Who would be
I
available
agree.
to him. So and they'll be able to mask any issues going forward anyway. I think he's better off, I think, for that reason.
Yeah.
The entertainment factor will be there. So listen,
Plus he has a ready-made feud for when he gets back.
yes. Oh yeah, no. Him and Cody should be very good.
No.
Him and Drew.
Never mind. Sorry.
Punk and Cody should be WrestleMania next year.
I can fuck with that. No, yeah, you're right. Punk and Drew. Dude.
Punk and Drew.
All right, let's wrap up the Rumble, because there's a couple other things before we get into the main stuff. But
I was gonna say our guest is ready.
Oh,
If you want to bring him in,
tell him to log in, and we'll get his point of view about all this stuff then. Yeah, tell him log in.
So,
all right,
he should be joining us momentarily.
Were there any notable surprises from the men's Rumble?
Andrade?
Yeah,
that was a surprise to me. I don't know if it was a surprise to everybody.
No,
I saw that coming.
Well, I forgot all about it when we were there.
I forgot that he wasn't in AEW.
I will say this: I
don't know if I ever knew that.
I saw the video someone took of, like, because they had Seth and Roman in the boxes for the Rumble match, so they get the reaction. And there was one video of Seth, like, when someone's music hit, he like doesn't know who it is, and then cheers when he sees the name. I'll go that was very accurate, because I realized I don't know like anyone's music anymore.
Yep.
Because
I was gonna bring that up.
Nobody has good music anymore.
Well, but that's the thing.
I was going to bring up the fact, like, when you said that, like, it was hard to keep track of the numbers. I was also going to mention that, like, I also heard from a lot of people in the live audience that it was just hard to keep track of who was coming out.
Yes.
No one recognized their music.
No one knew. No, they're like the in the women's Rumble, like, it was both Rumbles. The women's Rumble, they like what Kaden Carter and whatever the other one's name is, Katana Chance. Like, they have some random like club music. And like it just starts, and I'm like, and then like until they're walking down, and like so the video of Seth doing the same thing in the men's Rumble, music. Oh, there's the name and cheering. I was like, no, that was all of us.
Yeah,
he was one of us. But yeah, good final group. I think again, Cody going over. I think Cody pointing at Roman and all that stuff was awesome.
Yes,
they almost ruined it. What was the point of him yelling at Roman if you were just going to put The Rock in the fucking thing?
Because it's The Rock. Because it's The Rock. I don't know. We're about to talk about it. But Cody wins the Rumble. And now that our guest is here, as soon as he turns his video on and his microphone on, I can introduce him, and we'll move on and talk about all the other shit that's been going on really the last couple of weeks.
There we go.
There it is.
Welcome. There is our guest. That's right. I'm going to take this introduction here because, as we know, returning to the show once again, my former tag team partner, one of my closest friends, not just in wrestling, but in life, Mr. Andd Bivians. Andy, welcome to the Six-Man Tag.
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you guys for having me.
Reoccurring
Ah.
guest.
Yes.
We love having you, bro. Like, honestly, we should have you. Got to come on more often. We got to get it. We got to get you on here more often because we got too many stories, bro.
I mean,
We got too many
granted,
stories.
we gotta get on here more often.
That
This
a
is
fact.
true.
That
This
a
is true.
fact. That is a
Oh
fact.
yeah, fuck yeah, welcome. We're just talking about all the shit that's been going on the last few weeks. We just wrapped up, my live account of the Royal Rumble. Oh, I did win $40 from Anthony. We did $20 per Rumble. I took odd, Anthony took even, and he lost the women's Rumble. And then he was like, "Should I trade?" I was like, "That's up to you if you want to trade." And he said, "I'm not going to trade." and he lost again. So so yeah, that was a good time.
Well done. Well done.
Nicely done.
And just one more thing to add, I said it in the group text. We were outside going to the car, and I was just waiting to take a piss at the porta potty, and then some dude like hops into a dumpster that's next to the porta potty, and like
Yeah.
without saying a word, and we're just like, "What's this?" Like in my head, I'm like, "Oh, Florida! Like here's Florida man hopping in a dumpster," and he pulls out a Money in the Bank briefcase, which now I'm dying because I'm like, "Bro,
Yeah.
what?"
Yeah.
And he was like, "Yeah, they sell these things, but then you can't bring them in. So rather
Makes
than bring
no
it,
sense.
so rather than bring the Money in the Bank to my car, I put it in this dumpster and just hope nobody came in here."
I mean, the fact that he got it back, good for him.
Yeah, because we were all it was the wildest thing to see without context. Just this dude hopping in the dumpster and he pulls out a Money in the Bank.
Yep. I mean, now he's got to go fight for the championship.
Yeah.
So
Also, no offense to Damian Priest at all. He was a great Money in the Bank. Didn't like that the store only sold the
The purple
Senior
one?
Money in the Bank briefcases.
yeah.
Because I might have bought if it was just a regular one. Just because like it is a legit briefcase. Like you could pack a lot of stuff in there.
Right.
There what
What are you gonna pack in there that you need to carry around?
bro, I don't know.
The money in the bank briefcase. Are you gonna bring that to work?
Bro, I need it, bro. I needed to
On
like
your desk?
I needed like another backpack carry on anyway for the plane for all the shit we bought. So
That's true,
I
yeah.
could have used it for
That'd
that.
be handy for that. Yeah.
It would have been hilarious. And just because I would have went through TSA just holding it, so everyone would have had to been like, Jesus fucking Christ, dude.
What a loser.
Should have got it anyway.
A winner.
Yeah.
A
I'm
winner.
a winner.
I did-
I got
I-
the briefcase.
I did open it in the store. There's no replica contract inside the replica briefcase.
Ah,
I was like, this would have been a cool touch, but
If it comes with a contract, then you gotta get it.
I know all those people that walk around with belts, nobody defended it once at the show. I'll add
And
that.
you gotta challenge my brother for the championship.
What championship is that?
I don't want to say.
God damn it. I love it. But yeah, man, the Royal was fun. The Rumble was fun live. The Rumble's always fun. It's one of my favorite shows of the year. So to be able to go see it live, just off a sheer coincidence of me happening to be in Florida, it was a good time.
I was glad that you got to have some fun down there. Glad you got a first-hand account. Andy, however, let's get our guest involved here.
Yes,
Buddy,
please.
What have you been up to, man? How's things? What's going on, brother?
Things are good, man. Just, working and traveling and trying to stay as active as possible,
I gotta say, man, I've been seeing your Instagram posts and some of your other stuff that you've been putting on social media. And me and you, we've known each other a long time. We used to go on the road together. I know you've always been, taking care of yourself and working out and everything else. But I gotta say, bro, you've been looking kind of swole lately. You looking like you.
Isn't everybody in wrestling though?
everybody right now is coming back swole. Like, what's going on?
Bro, you looking like you went on that AJ Styles run.
I mean,
Or that Randy Orton break.
I wish I appreciate that. I wish I did, but just trying to get as big as possible, try to get in the best shape as possible.
Yeah.
I think for a while, like I tried, but I never hit that full potential. And now I'm on that, like, nah, I owe this year myself,
Well, you're doing it, bro. Because like I said, I've been seeing these pictures and I'm like, God damn, he never looked like that when we were tagging together. I'll tell you that.
I was like 90 pounds soaking wet.
Oh, no, not that whole time. I mean, granted, like when you first started, you were a twig, bro. Like,
Oh,
and
absolutely.
like there's no doubt about that. But like even when we were working together, when we were hitting the road together, you were able to put on some muscle, you were able to get some mass going. But like I look at you now and I'm like, I didn't know you could reach that level, bro. Like you're really doing it. You're really getting in there and putting in some work. So I just want to say props to you for that.
I appreciate you for that.
Yeah, man. So what's it like out on the road now? I haven't been there in a while, man. How's things going without me? You winning? You still winning?
I'm
You
still
winning
winning.
some titles? You
I'm
still
winning.
whipping some ass?
I'm still winning. I'm still mentioning you every time I can. If I'm on a
Good.
promo and I say something, I'm like, up, footnote, Francis.
Literally, that's all he says.
literally. I'm like, up, footnote, Francis.
Y'all are lucky Francis ain't here.
Hey,
He'd whoop you into shape.
I'll turn heel again.
he'll stretch you.
Oh, man, we had some good times, bro. And not only did we tag together, but we also beat the shit out of each other quite a few times too. So that was
we
always
really
fun,
did.
but
We
Oh,
really
man.
Are you stiffer when you know each other like you two do?
100%, bro.
Probably.
No, it's not probably about it. I know I hit this motherfucker harder than I hit everybody else, and I know he did the same to me. Andy, you legit knocked me out one time.
I was
Like, legit.
I was legit just thinking about that as we were
Mhm.
talking right this second.
Like one time we had a lumberjack match at OTW, and the match was supposed to start hot, right? And I'm supposed to jump him right out of the gate, so that's what I do. He didn't even have his robe off yet. And I run over and I just hit him in the back. I'm clubbing him, beating him down. Ref pulls me off. I go taunt the crowd for a minute. I turn around. This dude walks up and smokes me with the stiffest forearm I've ever felt in my life. You can see it in the video. I don't know where that video is. I'm sure it's somewhere on YouTube, but you can see it in the video. I don't take a wrestling bump. I crumble to the floor. I just crumble right to the mat. Just
I had to get my
and I legit saw a flash. I legit opened my eyes and I was just like, how did I get here? And I remember the one funny thing about that is Brian Johnson was sitting ringside, the mecca of professional wrestling, Brian Johnson. He's sitting ringside and he's trying to like give me some words of encouragement while I'm in there, and he's telling me, hey, good job. Just catch your breath, catch your wind, whatever. And I remember saying to him, I was like, my wind's not the problem. I got knocked the fuck out. It was seriously like a moment from Friday, man. Like Smokey could have been standing above me, just like, you just got knocked the fuck out, and I would have been like, yeah, I did. You're absolutely right.
I think the funnier part about that, I don't remember if it was a part of a show or if it was at training, but I remember I was throwing.
Oh yeah, that was training. I already know what story you're about to tell, but go ahead.
Throwing punches and
weak punches. You were throwing some weak punches.
Yeah, they were weak. They were weak.
They were weak.
And this is why you're my best friend, one of my brothers. You called me out on it, and I made sure I never threw a weak one again.
Right in the middle of practice, he hits me with like 2 or 3 weak punches. And I think by the third one, I just no-sold it. And I was just like, are you going to hit me or not? And he just smokes me with the next one. And I'm like, there you go. Oh, yeah. That was, we pulled that out of each other, though. I feel like we always pulled the best out of each other in our matches, in our training, in our whatever we were doing together, even in our tag matches, like the way we work together, the spots that we would come up with, everything. And Andy, like, I'll tell this to anybody, Andy was my favorite wrestler to work ever. Like I always enjoyed my time in the ring with him. I always enjoyed working tags with him. Because we had that chemistry. I mean, that's what happens when you're real friends. That's what happens when you're really riding the road together, when you're really, doing everything together that is in the world of wrestling. You get that chemistry going, and this is my favorite guy to work with. I would have, like, if I could have just worked matches with Andy every week, I'd probably still be wrestling.
Be fun. Be fun. That's the real fight forever right there.
Fight forever. But yeah, man. So like, what have you been up to? Where have you been at lately? Where have you been wrestling? What companies you working for, stuff like that? You still working primarily South Jersey?
Yeah, I'm still working in Jersey, still working in New York. We just did a show in Haverstraw, New York for ACW. Next month in March, they're gonna be at the American Dream. What is it, the mall that's out there?
Yes.
Yeah, they're gonna be hosting a show there. It's gonna be a huge show, huge event. It's gonna be a lot of fun. A lot of people coming through. But yeah, it's still in South Jersey, still in New York, still traveling all over.
Very cool. Still taking AC trips with Mama?
No, we haven't.
That seemed to go away when I retired, I guess, huh?
Yeah, like when you kidnapped me to go to AC.
Yep.
But just my gear because I had nothing else.
Oh, that was we did kidnap our friend Bobby one time, like legit, like he was just like, I got to get back home. My girl's waiting
Poor
for me to
Bob.
get back home, and we're just like, no, we're going to Atlantic City.
Dude, the fact is, he didn't believe us, and
And
you
we took
already
him there.
kidnapped me like the month prior, so I already realized that we were going.
Like, once I had it in my mind, it was just a done deal.
Yeah.
If I had it in my mind that I wanted to go gamble, and I had a free room, it was a wrap. It wasn't even like a discussion anymore. I was just like, hey, I got a free room. We're hitting AC tonight, and Andy would just be like, all right.
Hey, remember that time that you booked the room and we got down there, but you booked it for the next year?
Oh my God, yeah, that sucked. That sucked. It was February, right? So February only has 28 days, except for leap year. So the days, whatever day that a day, like whatever date number, whatever you want to call it, that a day falls on in February will be the same the following year because it's 4 weeks exactly, 28 days.
Right.
So I booked it for like February 13th or whatever like that. And we get down there and I'm just like, yeah, I just booked the room. Like, we don't have you on file and we're all booked up. And I'm just like, but here's the confirmation. And I look at it and it says for the following year. And I was like, oh, I fucked up. And we ended up staying at the Hi Ho. That was the first time we stayed at the Hi Ho Motel across the street.
Shout out to the Hi Ho Motel.
Which sounds exactly how you're probably picturing it right now.
Where were you supposed to be staying?
Like a Howard Johnson or something.
Oh, never mind. I didn't know if it was like, all right, well, we were going to be at Caesars.
No,
right,
no,
nope,
it was like off the boardwalk because I did not have a free room that weekend, so we decided to just book a cheaper room off the strip or boardwalk, whatever you want to call it. And so we booked it at a Howard Johnson or whatever it was, and sure enough, it was not booked. So we ended up staying across the street at the Hi Ho Motel, which cost I believe it was like $80 a night, or maybe even less than that. Maybe 60.
Yeah.
They allowed you to pay cash, which that's the first time in my adult life that I've ever stayed at a hotel that takes cash.
Pay by the hour?
Huh?
Pay by the hour?
I didn't ask them about that because, it's just me and Andy. I thought that would be a little weird if I started asking questions like that. But
no, people don't ask questions, man. Just pay them.
They probably would.
Hey, do you guys do hourly rates? Me and my buddy want to know. Me and my friend,
Just
my special friend.
$30. Don't ask.
I've only asked the hotel if they did hourly rates once, and they kind of laughed at me, so I never asked again.
You going to like the fucking Four Seasons? You guys do?
No,
That's too by the hour
it was
here.
somewhere down in like fucking Poughkeepsie, and I had a little lady friend with me. We were looking to have a little fun, but we decided to go get a hotel room, and ended up having to pay for the whole night, even though we were only like really there for like 3-4 hours. It's all good.
Oh my God.
But yeah, just that was the same hotel we ended up when we kidnapped Bobby that we went to. And I remember Bobby's reaction to that hotel when we walked in. The whole room just stunk of cigarettes, and Bobby goes, "Huh, we probably should have asked for a non-smoking room, huh?" And my response was, "I don't think this place has non-smoking rooms."
Well, I mean, we legit went down for a legit reason because there was a snowstorm that was coming.
Yeah, a whole
Granted, we could have
whole quarter of an inch.
We could have made it. Well, I mean, it was worse where we were than what New York got. But
yeah, it was snowing down. It was snowing down in the Hudson Valley. So we told Bobby that we didn't want to drive all the way back because we didn't want to drive through a snowstorm, even though like by us it really wasn't that bad. But then it caught up to us. Like by the time we got to the hotel, we were getting buried.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yep.
Got buried twice
Wow.
that day.
Ah,
Hi-oh.
I got buried every Saturday. Can you imagine if Dennis was a Craig Francis fan back in the day?
Oh no.
Oh God,
Oh.
he'd have some words.
How he'd be yelling at Brian Johnson. How
Yeah.
fucking dare you make my friend lose?
He would definitely be
Oh man.
sending
It
some
honest
angry comments.
it would be very funny.
Oh, it'd be hilarious.
Fuck you. Dennis
I wish he was.
Dennis just shoots his way into just being. He just shoots his way into work. Now he's in the ring. He's like,
Now he's just my manager.
Hey, how'd you do this?
Like, I'm sorry, Pat, you're fired.
You
I
hear
mean, at least it would have been better than the brain.
Oh my God, the brain. That's world class manager, the brain.
Poor guy.
Do you guys know who the brain is?
I
Mike and
don't. That's
Skylar?
why.
No.
Alan. Alan was my manager for a good month or so.
God damn it.
The same guy who's puked in multiple people's sinks.
It's correct. It's correct. And
When's Deanna Purrazzo just going to take him out already?
Oh my God. Yeah. Didn't you guys make a sign about that?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, we chanted "Take Alan out" at Deanna
Take
Purrazzo.
Alan out.
never gonna happen.
And Alan was right there, and I'm
she
pretty
doesn't know
sure
what she's missing.
we all.
Yeah, you guys were just pointing at him. Yeah.
Yeah, Alan had the pies in the face too. Which was
Yeah. We
Same
pie
suit.
faced them, and they hit him with like ketchup and mustard at one show. There's a whole bunch of stuff.
Oh man.
it was a fun run.
And he wore the same suit every week, never cleaned it.
No.
So it would just have ketchup stains, mustard stains, whipped cream in the pocket.
I mean, was that the gimmick?
I
I
don't think anybody told him not to wash it.
Kayfabe,
Like-
man. Kayfabe.
I mean, it's better than
Sure.
that one kid that pulled his suit out of the backpack.
Or how about the dude who wanted to turn heel? What was that kid's name?
The same kid who pulled the suit out of the
Yeah. George sat on his face and he yelled, "Fuck my face."
backpack. Yeah, that happened. That happened.
We're just rattling off names that nobody knows, but like here's a quick reference to that story. Our friend George, known in the ring as Knuckles at the time, went to go throw a leg drop on this kid who had no business really being in the ring at all. But he was paying money. So takes a leg drop from George. George kind of, I guess, miscalculated. Ended up basically sitting right on his face. And right after it happened, the kid who got hurt, like legit got hurt, I think like he might have even broken like some bones in his face or somehow, just yells out, "Fuck my face." And I mean, it was a scary moment at the time, but it's hard not to look back at that and just immediately start laughing.
I mean, he was fine.
He got hurt. He had a nice bruise going
Oh
on.
no. He got hurt. Like he broke bones, but
Yeah.
like essentially he was happy. Fine.
Yeah. He became a
Goddamn.
manager after that. I think he stopped wrestling soon after that.
Yeah, smart.
Understandably so.
Like I said, he really had no business wrestling in the first place.
Mhm.
It was another, basically think like Alan but younger.
Oh god. Oh my god.
Yeah.
No, we can tolerate it.
Yeah. Well, I just mean like, would you want Alan in the ring taking bumps though?
Well, okay, that's fair.
You see what I'm saying?
Point.
Speaking of people who can wrestle and you probably want in the ring, The Rock.
Oh boy. Yeah, we gotta
So
talk about The Rock here.
we gotta. All right, we're done with the Rumble. Cody wins the Rumble. Him and Roman face off. Blah blah blah. Is that like the next whenever the next week or whatever on SmackDown is when we get the so is Cody just out thing?
Yeah.
What? Like, I think this is a good thing. All the shit that's happened the past couple weeks. Like, I think for the first time in a long time, I'm truly just clueless as far as how it looks like a storyline is really going to play out, which is brilliant.
Yeah.
But also, like, was every single part of this calculated?
No.
Did they
No.
like Like
Cody's getting the Daniel Bryan treatment right now.
you think it now, but did they in a way like plant this or like know this reaction was going to happen? Like what
I don't
do
think
you
so.
guys think?
I think that when they decided to make the switch,
Mhm.
when The Rock was like, "Hey, I'm coming back," and they were like, "All right, cool, we'll do Rock and Roman," and when
Yeah.
they like, kind of started alluding to that and everything else, I think that people in WWE were fully expecting people to be like, "Oh man, poor
Mhm.
Cody," but at the same time, yay Rock.
Right.
That is not what happened.
Fuck no, man.
I was waiting for the die Rocky die chance.
They were close.
They were getting close. If they
It's-
didn't make the switch at the press conference, I guarantee you, when The Rock came out last week on SmackDown, he would have started getting some of those chants for
Yeah.
sure.
Just the Rocky sucks chance. I was like, I legit haven't heard that in 25 plus years.
Yeah, it's been a while.
Like, but like the 3-day pivot was incredible by them. If
Mhm.
they truly put all this stuff into motion this quick to get to where we are, because like they announced that like press event, which I still say you had one job, Craig, was to show up at that. You could have made some stuff happen. It was
I
free to
should've
get
just
in.
showed up.
It was free to get in.
Is that Craig Francis storming the stage?
I think we have
Coulda.
our WrestleMania main event right here.
Fuck Cody Rhodes. Fuck The Rock. Craig Francis.
They're just like,
So-
all right, the people like it. Now go ahead.
Give the people what they want.
Francis back in the ring. I'll take it. Take it.
Going against the tribal chief and everything, man. Fuck.
Take it.
It's a hell of a push.
That's a win in my book.
Is that
That's
the
right.
only way you'll come back? WrestleMania main event?
Yeah, you got to give me Roman. Give me Roman or nobody.
That's fair. That's
All
fair.
right. All right. All right.
Got to give me Roman.
All right.
And I'm winning the strap.
So,
All right.
That doesn't work for me, brother.
so is Cody assembling the Avengers right now?
That's a theory.
It could be.
That is a theory popping
Because
up on Twitter. I know
he's
that.
already got Seth Rollins coming back, like in his corner at this
Mhm.
point.
Mhm.
And I feel like give it a. I mean, Raw's wrapping up right now. Who knows what could have happened? But
Don't tell me the IC title. I do want to go back and watch that.
I haven't looked at any of the results yet, but
Okay.
it almost feels like you could have Sami Zayn show up at 1 week and then Jey
Mhm.
Uso the next week
Yeah.
being like, "Yeah, we got your back for this. We know what's going on."
And I think that actually would be
Epic.
that would be pretty cool, man. Like
I
not
never
gonna lie,
saw
because-
Endgame, but
Yeah.
Well,
Like,
go
you
fucking
think of,
go fucking watch it.
Think of when DX wrestled NWO, and then like everybody and their mother just started showing up or I'm
Mhm.
sorry, Triple H wrestled Sting, and then DX came out, and then NWO came out, and like it was just like a mishmash of nostalgia.
Mhm.
Think of that, but it makes sense.
Right.
yes.
Like that I think is a possibility. Bloodline starts coming out, starts interfering in the Mania match. All of a sudden, you got Sammy coming out, you got Jay coming out, you got Seth coming out. Maybe
Now,
obviously Seth's gonna have his own title match to worry about, so we'll see how that plays
There's
out.
so many moving parts to this WrestleMania, and I fucking love it.
and
Oh,
I have this also,
Great.
and I have this weird feeling, and I feel like this has been floating around. Is Rock Mike Tyson in this case?
I don't know.
That's another theory that's been thrown around on Twitter, because
Well,
if you were paying attention to the promo, particularly that he put on SmackDown last week, when he said basically I'm going to show the world that you're what you are, and that's a loser, and he was pointing at Roman.
Is that a camera angle thing, or was he?
No, like I saw like people took pictures from like the stands, and you could tell he's like facing Roman when he does it, and Roman's not paying attention. Roman's looking out to the crowd.
Yeah.
So
oh,
like
that's
it's
true.
like it's all these little meta things. Like it's all these
Mhm.
little meta fucking coincidences that people are putting together. Also, like I think Roman Reigns, I saw like in a tweet the other day how he said like everything that we're doing now going forward, everything that we say, everything that like all the movements we're making, it's all intentional.
Mm.
Like if you're paying attention, you will know that it's all intentional. So by him even saying that and admitting that, yeah, Rocky putting up
So,
the L instead of
like-
the finger.
Like that has to be on like. Now, obviously, I think the main thing is Cody Rhodes was Bullet Club leader years. Is it that some sort of maybe
I don't.
not
I think
thought
it has
about.
less to do with Bullet Club and more of the fact that like one of these things is not like the other.
Makes
You know what
sense.
I mean?
I think it has more to do with the fact that Rocky was trying to cue the Nation of Domination music.
Isn't that's just fist though?
All right, right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I still stand by that.
Domination.
Look,
Outlaw.
look, I know my gang signs on this one, okay? It's like this, whatever the fuck.
You got
Goddamn.
this if you're a Hardy. I
Oh,
don't know,
yeah.
man. Just
I don't know.
speaking of
I
the
got
Hardys, how about Sammy Guevara almost killing Jeff last
Well,
week?
he's almost killed both of them now.
Yeah. Yeah. Like legit, like Matt Hardy should have been hospitalized immediately when he fell to
Yes.
the concrete.
That
in
was bad. Oh, I
moment.
forgot
That
about
was so
that.
bad, dude.
Oh yeah.
Oh, that was so bad. He hit his head right on the concrete,
Yeah.
man. Like the
Yep.
dude was like legit knocked out. Like the
Yeah.
fact that like they didn't just stop the match right then and there still amazes me. But fuck, dude.
I'm not I got nothing. I got nothing to say.
Yeah.
I'm gonna listen. If I say a negative word, I'm gonna get fucking people coming at me in the Discord about it. One person coming at me.
God forbid you say anything negative about AEW.
What's so great about WWE, bro? I don't know.
Everything right
Watch because I don't know if I should cheer or boo the Rock. But then we got heel Rock for the first time in like legit 20 years.
Hollywood Rock.
We got Hollywood Rock. You're right. Maybe there's a touch of that with the Cena stuff, but even still, I haven't seen. I'm finally getting Rock promos where it's not just the hokey shit playing to the crowd.
Bro, he told a man that he was gonna slap the herpes off his lip. Like that line fucking killed me. That
Bro,
line killed me.
I just popped at him calling everybody trailer park trash again.
Yeah.
Because I'm like,
I mean, that's classic.
Yeah. And he's wearing the $500 shirt as a vest, and he had the Mickey on the back because he's got fucking Moana coming out, so they gotta subtly put all that shit in there.
Yeah.
Just I love all of it.
I saw a tweet the other day too saying how because Seth Rollins obviously being involved in getting in Rock's face at the press conference and all that stuff. I saw a tweet Becky Lynch had to explain to their daughter why daddy wants to fight Maui.
Maui, yeah. Yeah, that's a good one.
Wow.
Speaking of
That's
all
hilarious.
that, well, let's break down the press conference kickoff when all this stuff happens. Because even when the Rock they did a fantastic job of if they had pivoted by that point or whatever, they did a fucking good job of making you truly think that, okay, like Seth's going to come out and then Cody's going to come out and then like they're going with this. And goddamn, man, all of that was so good. Like, that's why, like, I don't know what, like, people that are complaining about this build and what's happened in the last, since the Royal Rumble, I'm sorry, like, I don't know how you can complain. Like, this is how you build to a big match. You don't need, you don't need like storytelling in like wrestling match form to build this shit. You can you can have Roman, Cody, and The Rock show up once a month, once a month leading up, and like you'll still sell the thing.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we've talked about this before that WrestleMania is going to sell no matter what.
Well, also true.
At the same time, like it more so than selling tickets, you're selling this match and you're selling this feud and you're getting and people are into it, man. Like we're here talking about it. We're all into it.
Yeah.
We've been saying for the past year and a half how good this Bloodline story has been. Go ahead. It's pure cinema at this point, like to the point where it's like everything that they've done over the past like year and a half, 2 years with Roman, Jay, Jimmy, Solo coming in, Paul Heyman being involved, like all of these pieces, Sammy, obviously, like it has been fucking fantastic. And like, 4 or 5 years ago, we were all talking about how AEW was doing a lot of cool stuff and WWE seemed to be kind of on a lull. Like it is flipped completely to this point where AEW really, like, it seems like they're kind of off track right now. They're struggling obviously with their ticket sales and like all the other things that we hear about. Still great wrestling on the show, great wrestling, but like when it comes to like creative direction, they're kind of missing something. WWE, on the other hand, has been knocking it out of the park, and not just the Bloodline. That is the easy example to go to, but like, look what they've done with Gunther. Look what they've done with Seth and the new title.
Judgment Day.
Judgment Day.
Yeah.
Like, people shit on Judgment Day, and I
don't
don't
get it,
understand
man.
why, because it's fucking, they're a great heel faction doing
Yeah.
exactly what a great heel faction
But they
is
cheat.
supposed to do. I mean, like, Judgment Day is Raw's Bloodline. Like,
Yeah.
that's what they needed to be. Like, they needed a group like the Bloodline
Yeah.
to go run roughshod
And
over
and
their other
R-Truth.
show. I fucking love R-Truth, bro. I fucking love Truth. Fun fact, when me and Andy first started, or when I first started wrestling, because Andy had been there a few years before me,
Mhm.
but when we first started wrestling, or when I first started wrestling and we first started driving down together, we were big Awesome Truth marks.
Hmm.
Correct me if I'm wrong, Andy, were we not?
Facts.
We were both into that gimmick, very much so, and we used to always joke around that we were basically the indie version of Awesome Truth. So I would just play up as Miz, he would be our Truth, and we'd like listen to the songs and stuff like that. And but yeah, anything with our Truth is fucking gold at this point.
Protect that man.
Protect that man at all costs.
Protect that
man.
man.
I give him a lifetime contract. Let him work till he's 80. Who cares?
He probably could.
Yeah.
He
With what
probably
he's
could.
doing, he could.
Shit, I mean, like, goddamn, he's like what, like in his 50s now, and he's still, first of all, he still looks great. He still
Yeah,
looks young
20 years
and
later.
in shape and everything else. He's still doing splits, like so he can obviously still move, and have flexibility in his body. Fuck it, dude, man, let him work forever. As long as he wants. As long as he wants.
I actually have a prediction for a WrestleMania match.
Yes.
Okay, let's hear
it. Tag team titles: Judgment Day versus Awesome Truth.
The return of Awesome Truth. They've been teasing that for a little bit.
Yep.
That'd be interesting.
I think that's a match that could happen.
They've been teasing the Awesome Truth thing, Miz and R-Truth, like, kind of reconnecting. Meanwhile, like, he's kind of torn because he's with Judgment Day. So,
I guess
we'll see. That would be
but
cool,
even
though.
but even that, even just like this R-Truth stuff with Judgment Day could have just been throwaway for a couple of weeks.
Yeah.
And like,
and then they could have beat the shit out of him, and then we never hear from him again.
But like, look what just that's turned into in like 6 weeks, 2 months and stuff. Now if you're talking about this as a potential thing, like Awesome Truth going for the tag titles, all of that stemming from a couple of honestly comedy bits. It's really so if it wasn't for Ruffles, R-Truth doesn't. It's like that Domino's meme. The first one is just Ruffles chips is invented, and then the last one is R-Truth winning the main eventing WrestleMania for the tag titles. Like, what?
Remember the one I sent to you guys, like, probably right after the Royal Rumble, when Cody basically was getting squeezed out of the title match, where it was just like, the first domino is CM Punk returns to AEW, and the big domino is Cody doesn't get to finish his story.
God damn, it's so good.
Yep.
But they're cooking, man. Like, and what do you think is going to be like? I mean, if it's not like main event, but like they've had this 2-night thing going for a while, and we've yet to have some sort of like, a use of like the 2 nights, if you will, for lack of a word, of like, do guys work both nights? Like, do we do, like, I'm curious if they do something like that in the future. Like, if you have like a big like number one contenders match on night 1. And then the winner, or like if I don't know what way they could do it. Have like the champ has to defend twice or some shit goes on. Like,
they're already
WrestleMania 10.
That's right.
That's true. That's true. Yeah. Same night. But I think obviously this year they're already setting up the Seth opponent with the Elimination Chamber match.
But what is
story going into that?
Because there is a rumor. I feel like you can't have this. Seth face all this, Seth wanting to team with Cody or like having this face to face with The Rock just for nothing to come of it.
Well, I was about to say, who's to say that we can't have ourselves a tag match night 1,
right?
Of Seth and Cody versus The Rock and Roman.
And then do you do Seth Drew night 2? You do both title matches night 2?
Both titles night 2.
All right. Well, I mean, I have tickets night 2, so I'm sort of trying to be like, hey, put everything on, all this cool shit on night 2.
All the stuff go to night 2.
But
Johnny Knoxville match night 2.
Yes, I'll watch him. Who could he wrestle this year and
Oh
kill it with
man,
in that
who would
style
be
match?
who would be a good
who would be a
heel?
good opponent in that spot with him for that style match?
You gotta have
R-Truth.
somebody that. Well, yeah, but like truth's over. He's a face. We need
Yeah.
like a heel that people are gonna want to laugh at.
It could
And
if Kevin Owens was in the spot, he'd have a killer match with him too.
yeah,
But he's
Kevin
not in that
Owens could
spot.
do it. No, but if he was like a shit kicking heel, he could definitely do it.
Dominic Mysterio would sort of work.
Dominic, there you go.
Dominic.
That would work. Yeah,
Dominic.
that would work. That
Yeah.
would definitely work for sure. Dominic just getting his ass kicked by Wee Man. I'll fucking sign me up.
I'm in.
But
yeah,
I'll
bro.
still say, like, we're like four years removed from it or whatever, or however long it has been. But that the Jackass match, as I refer to it, is still like way fucking better than it had any business being.
Yeah.
Agreed.
Yeah. Dude, it was so good. But yeah, dude, like this shit the last couple months is just everything's been great. Everything's been unpredictable. Just I don't know, man. It's been so fucking good. And like the fact that we're guessing that we don't know, because
Yeah.
it does seem like I don't know if there'll be surprises for Elimination Chamber, because I knew there were rumors of that that Rock and Roman tag against Cody Seth could have been at Elimination Chamber. I don't think it's clearly not going to be that now. But I don't know, man. There's a lot of cool shit going on. A lot of cool shit's happened since we've recorded all of us together.
Yeah, that's
That's
a
the cool
fact.
thing about wrestling. Like you don't know. It's
Yeah.
But it's like for the first time in a long time, the fact that, and I'm not even talking about like reading dirt sheets and shit. Just, you can watch stuff and sort of know how stuff's going to play out. But I have no fucking clue.
Yeah, it's
It's
very
great.
it's very it's different. Like it's a different feeling. Like
it's refreshing.
It is
Yeah.
refreshing. It's very refreshing. My favorite thing about watching the Rumble as a kid is that you never knew who was going to show up, and before we all knew what dirt sheets even were, like you never really knew who was going to win, because like when you're young, it could be anybody, right? And now I feel like over the years, obviously, and I've said this before in other episodes, wrestling fans have become very jaded, like myself included. We've become very jaded individuals when it comes to certain things, like like, oh, we knew this was coming, we know that this is the plan. It's it's hard to get so hype about it because like we knew about it like 6 months ago, and like we've known that Cody Rhodes was supposed to be the guy, the opponent for Roman for WrestleMania for months. And how fucking exciting is it right now?
Yep.
Even though
after I was
after
told
everything.
the day after WrestleMania that people will never be as into Cody as they were, and there's no way he could finish the story now, and he was buried. He was in the main event of WrestleMania, but he was buried.
He's more over now than he was
last year. And I didn't doubt they would get you to buy in, but I understood at least. I didn't think that they would get to this level again. I did maybe think maybe I was like, maybe they lost their shot to have it at the most hyped time, but man. It felt like he maybe coasted like over the summer and stuff through that like Brock feud. And it was almost like they were just killing time, knowing it was almost like they're like, listen, we just got to get, we got to get from here to here and then just fucking look out.
Think about where Sammy was last year. Like when after he got kicked out of the bloodline, he had his match against Roman at what was it, Elimination Chamber?
Yeah.
Yep.
That was probably the most over I think Sammy's been in his entire career.
Yep.
And he's still super over now, but I feel like that particular night, that crowd, everything about that night was just so perfect for him. That's what we're seeing with Cody this year. We're seeing that meteoric, absolute, like everyone's bought in, everyone's fucking into it. Everybody wants to see it. Like, of course, there's still some Roman defenders out there that want to see him retain in a way, and they think that like Roman retaining is the right play to make. And I admit that it certainly would be interesting if Roman
I'm ready for the story to finish up.
That's my point. Is like
Mhm.
it would be interesting. It would definitely give me that
Mhm.
swerve kind of pop factor where I would just be like, holy shit moment. But at the end of the day, like if there was ever a fucking time for
No,
a title switch, this is it.
This
Yes.
is it, because you've now laid out Roman to have all these different feuds and storylines and all this bloodline stuff to keep going
Mhm.
without him having the belt.
He doesn't need it.
Not anymore.
It's like we were talking about Gunther just a couple weeks ago. We were saying like how like the Gunther title reign has been great and like nobody's rooting for him to lose the belt, but if he were to lose the belt, I don't think any of us think that he needs it at this point.
Right.
Like
Well, no,
he
like
can go on and do so much other
like,
stuff
if
without a
there
title
was,
involved and people would
'cause
still be invested.
when whatever promo he did with Seth before the Rumble about, oh, if it's me at Mania and stuff, like that's where there's so many like if they did that this WrestleMania, it'd be like, okay, yep, like
Yeah.
nobody would bat an eye if Gunther was in the main
No,
event.
not
So
at all.
yes, but this is what the IC title was though all these years. No, like all these
That's what
guys
it's
were
supposed to be.
all these guys were IC champs. Shawn Michaels, Diesel, Bret Hart. Well, I know Bret Hart was world champ before, but you get the point. All these dudes would win the IC title on their way up to the world title, and I guess at some point we kind of got
Did
lost
Razor
Bret-
with
Ramon.
that.
Oh wait, no.
Did
Yep.
Bret
There's also
win
some
the,
disappointments.
Did Bret win the world title before the IC title?
He won the world title in like
92.
92 because of all the steroid stuff. They were like, we got to get the belt on someone small. So, but I'm sure he was IC champ like prior to that.
Okay.
If I had to guess, I also don't know though.
I don't know.
But
That's usually Skylar's domain, I feel like.
this is
Yeah.
true.
And I'm the one
Answer,
asking the
man.
question.
Yeah.
Oh man.
I'm not sure, but I mean that's what it's supposed to. That's
Yeah.
what the IC title was built for, right? That's what your mid card
Mhm.
title is for. It's for two
Yep.
things, really. It's to put your biggest mid card guy over. Even if he's going to remain a mid card guy, you just want to give him recognition. But more importantly than that, it's to build your next level of world title stars and
Yep.
contenders. And
Who should take it from him, or would he straight up like vacate it at some point?
no, I think he's got to lose it. You
No,
got to
I
give somebody
agree.
else that push. You got to give somebody
I
else that
agree.
push. I think that there are, we can probably name a few people that are deserving right now. I think we might have even mentioned a few earlier, but it's going to be a big moment though. And I think that like, because of this historic reign that he's been on, beating the honky tonky man.
Okay.
I was watching some Santino Morella videos earlier. So I got honky tonky man stuck in my head. And John Chain. Don't mess with me, John Chain. Anyway, I think that whoever you're gonna give it to and whoever is gonna get it, you have to make it big because it's gonna be
Mhm.
big, and you have to
Yeah.
treat it as such. And that person needs to be somebody that is also going to go on and do big things in the future.
Yep.
You can't just give it to you can't have them lose it to no offense to R-Truth, but like you can't have them like lose it to R-Truth, make a big joke of it, and then
No, not now.
and then have R-Truth lose it to somebody else a few weeks later. Like you got to give it to somebody who's like, this is going to be the next guy. All right, Gunther's the next guy. This is going to be the next guy after that, because this fucking reign he was on, you need that.
No, I agree.
And I'm not saying you need to keep this pace up forever,
No,
but the next guy who wins it from Gunther needs to be a fucking future star. Needs to be a huge
Yeah.
star.
yeah. I trust who's cooking all around. So
If you smell it.
Triple H and HBK are fucking 1A, 1B for booking.
Yeah, I mean, look what HBK is doing in NXT now. He brought that show back from the brink of death.
Yeah, he did.
Mhm.
Nickelodeon NXT was a fucking complete failure, in my
Yep.
opinion. I mean, I couldn't even watch it because
No.
like literally the backdrops hurt my eyes.
Yes.
Who's even left? Is it like Braun Breaker's the only guy that was good on that show?
Where's
I'm sure
Cameron
there-
Grimes? Cameron Grimes was fucking awesome. We need
I
more
don't know,
Cameron
dude.
Grimes, man.
He's
know
on the
like-
main roster. He just shows
but they don't
up.
do nothing with him.
Exactly.
Like, bro, he was great
Mhm.
in NXT. He was fucking fantastic. They need to do something with that dude. He could talk. He could work.
I'm trying
I
to
mean,
think.
like, he might not have your typical look, but like, dude, I like it. I think he looks awesome. I think he's a great wrestler.
Who is left there? Did Carmelo get called up?
No,
Well,
because
no,
they're
him
doing the
and
storyline with him and Swerve, right? Or not Swerve, him and
oh Jesus.
Greg.
it's an honest mistake. All right. I don't
Sure.
watch NXT that often.
Sure.
He's doing that storyline with Andy Bivians right now.
Hey. And
Yeah, right.
paycheck.
Can you
Greg
take,
And the
Williams.
TV time.
Stop being offensive.
just be like, hey, can you give me the whoop that trick? Can you just give me that?
I'll take the theme too.
But yeah, he's doing the storyline with Trick right
and
now.
and he walks out. Everyone just keeps going. They're like, that's him.
Well, this show just got canceled.
What, NXT or us?
Us.
Oh,
Fucking us by a long shot.
Uh,
Love it.
ooh, this
But-
racism is killing me inside.
For your bingo card. Anyway, where do we go from here now?
I don't know. Just say goodbye.
just sprinkle some crack.
Yeah. Oh, God damn it. I don't know, man. They're cool. I'm excited for this Mania. It's been like, I don't know, man. If this was a true pivot in the, oh shit, we fucked up. Okay, it's Cody, just do it. Then fucking A, man. Because
I
they
do
got
think
they
that
got
that's the
they got
case.
they got me guessing.
Mm-hmm.
They definitely, I think that's the case. I think that they fully intended on going with The Rock when The Rock came back. And I think that they quickly realized,
Yeah.
like, oh, this is a mistake.
But everyone said we want to see this match, not this
Mhm.
way.
Yeah.
They
Not
got
now.
they got SummerSlam, or you could do the Rock Cena build and just build up Rock and Roman for a year and
You
just
could
do it
literally
Mania
build it
next
up for a
year.
year. You could literally You could build it up for if Rock really wants that WrestleMania moment with him,
Mhm.
give it to him.
Yep.
Just not this year.
Yep.
Yes.
The build would be good because then you're going to get a year of just the downfall of Roman as the tribal chief. I know they've said like the belt sort of comes with the territory, but then that they'll make it work if he's going to lose, or
It doesn't have to be that way.
or
If
he
he loses
or he
the belt,
beats Cody. What if he wins?
that's like I said. There are some Roman defenders on Twitter
Like,
that are saying that should happen.
Is that, well, do we care about the record anymore? Because I know at this point he's chasing like Hogan for third, but like
Yeah.
I think like you got this modern era record, but like at this point you're just like, we can't pass Bruno Sammartino and hold the title another fucking 10 years, 5 years, whatever.
Yeah.
So
If
I
you
don't
get-
know. But listen,
I never thought we'd see a reign this long in my lifetime.
Mhm.
no.
Like the fact that we got this is like, it's kind of a treat. I
Yeah.
know some people are sick of it and some people are just like, they're over it, but like those people are wrong. And you just need to just kind of acknowledge the tribal chief.
Yeah.
And that's all there is to it. But at the same time, it is fucking Cody's time.
It is.
It is. Like, in my opinion, and again, I'm just one guy. Obviously, people don't have to agree with me.
Yep.
But if you're listening to this show and you want to know what I think, it's fucking Cody time.
Agreed.
Yep.
It's not that I'm sick of Roman's title reign. It's just this is the perfect time to.
It's not that I'm sick of it at all. Like,
No,
if Cody was still like in AEW and they didn't have this fucking build for a guy that they have for him right now, I'd be like, fuck it, let him keep it another year. Who cares?
Yeah.
I'm not sick of it. I'm not sick of Roman at all. I'm not sick of the
No.
title reign at all. But god damn it, does Cody need to finish this story? Like, I'm
Yes.
so invested.
Yep.
So invested.
It is time.
That's all it is, man. You built up this gigantic star who, you could really say built himself.
Mhm.
And it's gotten the crowd into a fucking fever pitch at this point, where it's just like, you know, if Cena wins, we riot fucking signs were coming out in ECW Arena. That was just because the show was in Philly. If
Yep.
that show is anywhere else, that wouldn't have happened. This is fucking national, worldwide.
Mhm.
People are feeling the same way about Cody right now. Like it's basically the Cena RVD match set to 11. Like when you think about it like that, it's just,
Look, I'm just gonna say that at night 2, if Roman wins, I'm just gonna pop for it because it'll be great for
I'm pumped
people.
for it too.
It's gonna be, if I almost at this point with these shows, I like to root for chaos sometimes. And I know that if Roman wins, I'm gonna have a fucking blast walking out of that stadium because motherfuckers are gonna be mad.
You may not
And no,
pick it.
and we literally and we won't have any idea what comes next. That's the beauty of it. That's
Yeah.
what'll make me pop, is like how you said, like the chaos of it,
Mhm.
where it's just like, where do we go from here?
Yeah.
Like, this is what we all expected. This is what
Mhm.
we all knew was coming, and it didn't come. Where do we go from here? What
Yep.
are they going to do next?
They could go,
And
they could
that's the pop.
still. Yeah. I did it last year. I was like, no way
me
he
too.
wins. No way he wins. Oh my God, they fucking
Yeah.
had him win.
But the big difference between this year and last year is that last year when it happened, and I was pretty shocked by it, and I was just like, okay, I guess here we go. This year I feel like would be more of a fumble. Like
Yes,
this year
I
I
agree.
definitely feel
No,
like,
I agree. Because then at this point, like, right, like what are you waiting for with Cody then?
yeah.
But we'll see. We'll see. We don't know.
Yeah.
Fucking A, man.
Any more thoughts on Mania and Royal Rumble, or?
I'm just excited because now I want to go, I want to go out of my way to like watch these shows and these clips, like
Mhm.
as soon as I can. It's not like a matter of, oh, I'm scrolling, I happen to see it. Like, no, I'm like, if I forget to watch, I'm looking up the clips without spoilers like right away. It's like it's been that good.
Yeah, last week, actually, last Friday, I don't watch Raw or SmackDown live, if at all. Like, there's a lot
Right.
of times where I just don't watch it at all. But
Agreed.
I will say, building into Mania, I might have to start watching a little bit more, because they're doing great things
Oh,
building
yeah.
this up. But I last Friday, after Rock came out and cut that promo, I'm scrolling through Twitter, and I was looking for the full
Yeah.
version of it, because they had like the little clips of him
Yeah.
saying this or him saying that or him hitting this catchphrase. But I went looking, and I'm just like, nope, I got to see this whole segment. And I went and I found it, and I was like, I was interested. They had me hooked.
Oh yeah.
They sucked you in.
They sucked me in, brother. Got me marking
what-
out.
Oh, I love it.
Yep.
Fucking love it, dude.
Drink it in, man.
That guy.
That guy.
Oh man.
Speaking of sexual predators,
Mhm.
oops, allegedly.
Allegedly.
Yeah. Like I wasn't saying that seriously to get back in the subject, but I did want to bring this up before, and I forgot to mention it. But like, we were talking about the Rumble and how that black cloud could have been there if Brock Lesnar showed up. Like, remember, not that long ago, right after the Kaylee Ray stuff dropped, Jericho came out, and what did we see?
Eyes
Eyes
that
of
was
the audience. He was getting booed.
yeah.
That could have happened if Brock
The
came
match
out.
the match that match was like a whole clusterfuck because of it too.
Oh, I'm sure.
I don't know, man. That was a weird one. They just trotted him out there. No big deal.
If there was ever a time to be like, hey, maybe we just keep you off TV this week, maybe,
Yeah. Right.
that probably would have been a good time to do so.
It's like he wasn't even in like a high profile match. It was like a throwaway tag. Like,
Mhm.
I don't know.
Yeah.
It is what it is. I don't know. I'm not in Tony Khan's head. I don't know.
I don't know either, man.
It is what it is. We listen. You know our AEW opinions. Go back in the archives. There's plenty.
There'll
There's
be plenty
plenty.
more.
Good to bad.
There'll be more. Yeah. It sucks, dude.
They
Like,
go all over.
it sucks because we just mentioned it before. Like when AEW started, it was so fucking hot, dude. You couldn't get a ticket. They were selling out all those buildings every week, and it's just like, what the fuck happened?
I still think in the long run, they're going to be fine.
Yeah.
They sold out Wembley Stadium. You don't sell out Wembley Stadium
No.
and then crumble a year
Right.
later. It just
No.
doesn't happen.
Oh no, I don't think it's a going out of business thing. But like it could potentially be like you're on a new channel, your network doesn't renew your rights type of thing. Like you could see stuff change over the next few years. I don't know, and I don't know what a lot of the wrestler contracts are, but I wonder if a lot of those dudes that jumped might leave when their contracts are up. You might see
And
a lot of that.
that's the thing. Like if when they start losing, and like if and when, I don't want to say when, but if and when, if they start losing all of their top talents,
Mhm.
that's what's gonna be
Yep.
the domino. Like
Well, let's
that's
say
gonna be the
in-
big domino that
I mean,
starts falling.
Like was Adam Cole was like all out 2021, right? So if he signed a 3-year contract, that's gonna come up at the end of the year. Or if he signed a 5-year contract, then in 2 to 3 years, you might start seeing a
And
lot of jumping
again,
around.
if Triple H and Shawn Michaels are the ones running creative now, think about all those guys that made
He-
that jump 3 years ago that might want to come back.
Cole for sure wouldn't have left.
Yeah, I think like, man, if Triple H was running WWE
Mhm.
at that time, it's hard to picture Cole leaving. I mean, he was at the top of
Yeah.
NXT when Triple
All
H was
those,
running
and
NXT.
keep in mind, all those dudes left middle of 22 when Vince first resigned.
Mhm.
So I think keep that in mind too. All those guys that jumped
Yep.
then.
Yeah,
It'll be, you know,
it'd be interesting.
yep.
If
Like
all
I
those
said,
guys start jumping back, then I think AEW's in trouble.
They might be. They might have enough money to stay afloat, but they might just be like another Impact or type thing.
Yeah. And
You know.
how long are they going to stay afloat? Because I don't know how
that's the
much of that
question.
money's coming from Tony and how much of it's coming from Daddy.
I think it all. To be fair, I think they can just eat the loss because they probably make money on the NFL with the Jags, and then
Yeah.
all the soccer money with Fulham because they're in the Premier League, so they got that TV money coming in.
Yeah,
So
that's true.
they're fine overall. But you're right.
I'm
At what
sure.
point do you just not operate a company at a loss? But that's
I'm-
for them to
I'm sure
decide.
they're going to be fine. They're not going to like. It's not. I don't think that like Tony Khan's going to go bankrupt if the company
No.
goes under.
No.
But what I'm saying is that if this is being funded by Shad Khan, his father, if this is being primarily funded by him, or it was being primarily funded by him, and then all of a sudden Tony's just like, "Hey, I need more money to keep this afloat." How long do you think he's going to say
That's
like,
it.
I'm going to keep giving you money just to make your just so you can live your dream?
Right. Exactly.
Like at some point he's going to be like, I need to see some return on this, otherwise
Yes.
we're done.
Yeah.
He's a businessman first. You know, you got to keep in mind, like, yeah, sure, it's his son's dream.
Yeah.
Loves wrestling. Of course, like I'm sure he loves his son and wants to help him.
Right.
But at the end of the day, like how far are you willing to go
Oh yeah.
just to keep your son happy if you're losing money?
Agreed.
Because I don't think there's a lot of people in the world, whether you have millions, billions, or $10, that's willing to not financially ruin yourself, but continue to lose money.
Right. Agreed. But I don't know, man. We'll see. We'll see what they do. But I don't know, man. This should hopefully be a Mania season for the books because
It's looking like it.
it's fucking good, man. I mean, how many more times is The Rock? Even if The Rock shows up 2 more times, all right, I'm in. Just tell me when he's coming.
Yep.
I'm beyond here for heel Rock. I already mentioned it. No, give us a break from like the hokey stuff. It got silly. His appearances always cool, but it was like, all right, we know the deal. Say your lines, people's elbow, get out of there.
Catchphrases.
Right, and just different now. I love that The Rock's like the best at knowing how to play into the what chance too. Like those guys that get it.
Mm-hmm.
They're like, all right, I'm going to tell the promo. So you say this 60 times and then I'll tell you to fuck off.
Yeah. It's funny. I was thinking about this, I think earlier today, actually. It kind of blows my mind that the what thing is still a fucking thing. Like it's wild that what is still something that goes on fucking what, like 10, 15 years later now?
23 years later?
23? Get the fuck out.
I'm pretty sure it was the WCW Austin that did it.
I know, but like, goddamn, how old am I?
I know. that was 01.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
That's wild.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
What? Get those two in a ring together.
There's a lot of Austin matches I would like to see. If him and Punk can actually do that one day.
I think that's the only thing he'd be willing to come back for.
Mm.
He did his thing with KO, and I think that was both a favor to KO and just a way for him to like go out and do his
Right.
thing one more
Mhm.
time. But I think if he were ever to do it again, it would have to be Punk.
Yeah.
I don't think he's interested in doing anything with anybody else.
Makes sense. Man.
And he said as much that he wants a match with Punk.
I think that's why I say that though, is because like
Yeah.
he's kind of on record for being like, you know, I like that Punk kid. I would love to have a match with him. I just,
Mhm.
you know, I
Goddamn kid.
But I think that's the only way we see Austin come back and do one more.
Makes sense.
Mhm.
But any other final thoughts just in general on this whole episode? And we'll start wrapping us up.
Well, as far as WWE and AEW are concerned, probably not. But I do want to spend a little time talking with our guest one more time.
Yeah.
Let's go back to Andy for a little bit here, right? So I think like last time we had you on the show, Andy, we did tell some stories from the road of me and you together, right? And we just told a few more earlier. But I am really interested because I haven't been around and I haven't been wrestling. Really interested to hear some of your takes on what's going on in the indie world of the Northeast right now. You know, like how are you feeling? You got any new favorite opponents? You got any I think I saw you post something the other day that you got a new tag partner.
Yeah.
You got a new tag team working, you know. So you know, I mean, he's no Craig Francis, but I'm sure he's all right.
I mean, I've been trying to get that Craig Francis guy to come back into a ring, lace the boots one more time, but you know. No, we just took on Live Danger this past weekend. Really good tag team, young, hungry kids. But you know, they're no Unleashed. They're no Joe Scott and Andy Bivians. So the tag scene, or well, just the scene in general in wrestling is awesome. There's so many different avenues and there's so many different places to work. There's so many different people to work that I just kind of want to be everywhere. You know, I just kind of want to experience everywhere, everyone, everything. Just be in the ring with anybody that I can.
Any dream opponents you have? I mean, I know you just said you want to be in there with anybody, but anybody in particular that comes to mind that you have the possibility of working that you would really like to get in there with?
Are we talking about like a open?
I'm not talking about like dream scenario, like you're going to show up at WrestleMania and wrestle Roman Reigns. I'm talking about like, is there anybody working in the scene right now that you're currently working in that like you've seen work in a match and you're just like, that's the guy. I want to get in the ring with that guy.
There's a lot of people that that come to mind. I would love to work Dark STG. Love to work.
Right.
He's a hell of a person. Fucking huge.
Fucking huge.
But yeah, I think that would be great. I think that would be a lot of fun. Anybody in the tag scene, I would love to get in the ring with.
Any promotions that you want to give a shout out to that maybe you're trying to get booked for?
All of them. Contact me.
All of them.
Find
All
me.
of them. Sign this
One
man.
True Old Daddy. Come look for me.
Sign this man. That's good, man. I mean, it's good to hear that you're doing your thing still. It's good to hear that things are going well. It's good to see you. Obviously, like, fuck, man. I miss talking to you. I miss our chats.
Facts.
Spent so much time together on the road, just shooting the shit. About
fun
wrestling,
story.
about life.
Fun story.
Let's hear it.
About you that I had recently. So I was driving down to a show and I got stuck in traffic and I got mad. So everybody else was going to be just as mad around me. And I turned on Downfall of Us All, blasted
That's what you do.
as high as my car would go. I rolled down all the windows and we were all screaming.
Yep. That's how you do it. I remember when that happened with us. We got stuck in traffic right around Woodbury Commons, I believe it was. And we're just literally sitting still.
Get started.
No, we were like, we didn't even get to the turnpike yet. And I remember we were literally in standstill traffic. And that's what I did. I rolled down all the windows. I put on A Day to Remember. I put it on at the max volume it could go. And I believe what I said was, that's it. I'm pissed. I'm listening to A Day to Remember, and so is everybody else.
That's exactly what happened.
I love it. I love it. Oh, I'm glad to hear that you're keeping the spirit of Craig Francis alive out in the road.
Oh,
Even
absolutely.
if he's not there with you.
Oh, absolutely.
Also, anywhere where we could, get some plugs out of here. Where can we follow you? You got some merch for sale? What have you been up to with that stuff, man?
Yeah, so actually shout out to Ram Tough. I now have a merch store on there. So you can
Fuck
get
yeah, let's go.
t-shirts, you can get hoodies, you can get muscle tees, all on there. You can order it through the site and they'll ship it to you.
You got a discount for former tag partners?
I mean, I'm sure I can probably create one and find
There
one.
you go. Just give me a promo code somewhere.
You just gotta lace one boot. That's all I need. Just
Ah,
one boot.
trying to pull me back in.
But you can find me on Instagram at Andy_Bivians. You can find me on what are the young kids call X? Is Twitter X?
It's Twitter.
I still call it Twitter,
it's
but
Twitter.
it's X.
It's Twitter, right?
Whatever.
Whatever it is, X or the Tweet Bird, you can find me on there.
The Tweet Bird.
At Andy Bivians. You can find me on TikTok. TikTok, they don't stop. At Andy Bivians. New YouTube page coming up soon. Check that out. New reels.
Awesome.
Ready.
Very cool, man. Well,
That's good shit.
I don't know if we have anything else. I mean, I would love to just fucking keep shooting the shit with you, but I don't think we have anything else prepared, and I know it's getting a little late over on the East Coast.
The fucking East Coast, man.
Yeah, you East Coast fucking guys.
Is what it is.
Must be early.
I mean, Skylar already went to sleep, apparently. Like, he's already in bed.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, right. But yeah, listen, follow us at 6 Man Tag Podcast on Instagram, at 6 Man Tag on X/Twitter, whatever. Obviously, if you're watching on YouTube, hey, fucking cool, man. Go subscribe to the audio part, which is on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. And if you're listening to the audio, go to the YouTube, 6 Man Tag Podcast on YouTube as well. And all of these things, if you search by spelling the word 6,
oh my God, tell him.
you can't fuck yourself harder. Go fuck yourself. It's the number 6 on all of that.
You twats.
Thank you.
I didn't use cunt this week. I used twat. I'm trying to change it up.
Ah,
Oh, Skylar woke up from his nap.
Yep.
Said the magic word.
He heard twat and he's just like, what?
what? Let me in. Let me in.
Let me in.
Rest in peace.
Where can we find all your stuff, CJ?
Oh boy, let me tell you. A little thing called the Paperweight Project, right? We got a YouTube channel. We have a SoundCloud. There's a logo that looks just like this little guy behind me, Paper Crane, the Paperweight Project, right? Check us out, SoundCloud and YouTube. And because I did announce it on the last show, and I did say on episode 69, part 1, that it would be coming, we have a brand new song dropping for you guys. It is going to be on the end of this episode. So if you stuck around this long, stick around for a few extra minutes. Here's some new music. Well, it's not brand new. It is a cover, Jimmy Eat World cover, in fact, a song called A Praise Chorus. So if you're a Jimmy Eat World fan, a pop punk rock fan, stick around. We got some music for you, performed by myself and my good friend John Hooten, as well as our cover. This won't be on this episode, but it is up on the other sites. Our cover of Kingdom, the Cody Rhodes theme song, the man we've been talking about so much for the past 2 hours now. Go check that out. Both of those songs are going to be on my pages. SoundCloud.com/The Paperweight Project, YouTube.com. I believe it's the same /The Paperweight Project. I don't have a video up for Kingdom, which, by the way, Mike, I gotta get with you and somehow set that up, because although I think I have, I don't know. I'm going to work on
I can edit poorly.
I'm not asking you to edit like a whole music video, but like you could just get a video where it's like you throw the Cody Rhodes logo up and
Ah.
that's it. Like that's fine with me. I don't give a fuck.
I can work with that.
Although I did just download some not download, but I did just buy some video editing software myself that you, Mike, actually
Oh, right.
told me about from the Hummel bundle there. So maybe I'll actually be able to start doing some stuff like that myself soon. But in the meantime, go check out the SoundCloud because that's going to have all of the audio versions of the songs on there. Eventually, I'm going to start Spotify up, but I wanted to wanted to have like a whole collection to put out before I did that because they charge you by like per song or per
Oh, damn.
like out list or whatever. Like it's fucking weird, man. Like so that's going to be something when I'm ready to release like a full thing for. But in the meantime, we got I believe 4 songs on there now on my SoundCloud. The 5th one will be this Jimmy Eat World cover of a praise chorus. So go check it out. Listen for the end of this episode. Stick around a few extra minutes and check it out. Let me know what you think. Leave something in the comments for us. And in the meantime, yeah, just be on the lookout for some other new stuff too, because I'm actually looking to do something with poker probably very soon.
Let's go.
Maybe a new streaming service where you guys get to watch how I just flip out about all the bad beats I take.
Bro, you say streaming service and I'll literally fucking die if you're just like, all right, $10 a month, guys.
Oh,
Hey,
yeah.
Hey up.
No. I'm talking like obviously I'm thinking about doing it on Kick because
Yeah.
because
Twitch won't allow any kind of gambling shit anymore.
No, that's not true. People I see there's a lot of poker Twitch streamers. The problem with Twitch is that Twitch I think tries to take like 70% of your fucking income or some shit like that. Maybe not that much, but it's like at least 50. It's like more than half of your revenue, which I think is bullshit. Kick does not do that. I think Kick is like somewhere around like 10 to 15%, which is like much more reasonable in my opinion. So I believe I'm going to start a Kick up fairly soon, involving me playing some online poker, and me streaming and, maybe who knows, maybe that'll evolve to some other things in the future. But, I definitely want to try and get a poker stream going. I was just trying to reach a few personal goals before I set it up, and I'm pretty fucking close. I will say I've had some good days this past month. I don't know if you probably can't see it, but I keep track of all my winnings and losses on this calendar behind me, and I'm up about like, I don't know, like $300 for the month. So
that'll work.
Playing all low limit shit, man. We're not talking like, I'm not saying I'm playing for millions of dollars here, so don't expect that. But like, I'm trying to reach some personal goals, and once we get to those goals, my plan is to start a Kick channel up.
Nice.
Awesome.
It's good shit.
Skylar, how about you, buddy? What are you been up to?
Strange AFC for Twitch right now, playing Persona 3 Reload because every JRPG has decided to come out at the same time. Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth came out last month, so I still have to get back to that. And end of this month, Final Fantasy VII Rebirth is coming.
Yeah. Speaking of JRPGs and Final Fantasy VII, Skylar, I just want to say to you, because I know you appreciate it, I just started on my 157th playthrough of the original Final Fantasy VII recently. So that's what I've been up to lately.
My man.
Yeah.
Still love that game.
Oh, it's one of the best.
I guess coming up in the coming weeks, we're trying to get a guest confirmed to come on, and my old buddy Rob Sedaniel's coming on in a couple weeks.
A good friend of Andd Bivians as well.
Okay. Shout out to
Rob. Yeah.
I mean, listen, if you want to come back and join him, I'll throw that invite out there. And because all you got to do, we're going to talk about Vengeance 2001 in the near future.
Just watched it.
If, I don't know if someone has ever beaten Stone Cold and The Rock in the same night, but perhaps
what a feat that would be.
Maybe it happened. I don't know. But yeah, we're going to talk about Vengeance 2001 with Rob. If
I feel like if somebody did, we would have heard about it for the next 6 years for sure.
At least.
At least 6.
At least.
At least.
Oh. Well.
But that's all we got. So we got some cool shit coming up. So subscribe to everything.
Yeah, buddy.
Fuck yeah. This is good shit. Thanks for coming on, Andy. And like I said, just be a regular at this point. We'll get to the point where we don't even say guest. You just join the show.
You could be our new ref, Chris.
Yeah.
Hey.
Who we also need to get back on the show.
We also need to get back on the show.
Yeah, we need our regulars back consistently. Can't never have enough of those, honestly, because then there's always a night where not one of us isn't available. So then there's a nice little fill in if needed.
Mhm.
It's nice.
Well,
But
thank
hey,
you for
thanks.
having me.
Fuck yeah, dude. And listen, anytime. Literally, fucking join the Discord. If we say we're recording, just be like, "Oh fuck, what are you guys talking about?" All right, send me the link.
Dude, you should be in the
Yeah.
Discord anyway, just for the Chris Lupo takes.
Oh yeah, this is fair.
Oh man, yeah, you guys got to send me that link.
All
All
right,
right.
if any,
I don't know
yeah,
how to do that, but we'll get Denny to do it.
yeah, for sure. But yeah, listen, for Andy, for Skylar, for CJ, thanks for listening to another portion of episode 69. If this is the last part we do, we'll see you at episode 70. If not, we'll see you for episode 69, part 3 in the near future.
Depends if we can get those guests booked or not.
Oh yes, it's tough. It's tough out there.
Yeah.
But anyway, till next time, peace, everybody. Bye.